Get ready for what's probably the greatest entertainment news talk show out of Austin, Texas. Get ready for everything entertainment news and talk. And now, here's your host, Clint Baker.
Hey, what's happening, guys? It's another episode of Everything Entertainment News and Talk. I'm Clint Baker, your host, and man, we have an exciting show today. Today, we got Star Wars Celebration episode. That is the Star Wars Celebration episode with, we're going to be talking about Obi-Wan, which just premiered last night, late, Andor. There's a new Cassian Andor series. There's a Skeleton Crew that's got Jude Law. And, man, we've got Stranger Thing news. We've got Predator. We've got Winnie the Pooh solo. Whoa, what? Winnie the what? Let's get the other guys. I need some help to talk about all this excitingness. Holy crap! Speaking of excitingness, I got Curtis and Aaron. What's happening? We got CB3 and Aaron. How you doing? And this is Aaron's. We got to get rid of that Matt thing happening right there. Boop, there it goes. This is Aaron's first time on with us, so we got to give him an air horn. Yeah, air horn time. So, oh yeah. So, man, this is exciting. Before we get going, guys, I want to ask you guys to like, share, subscribe. Yeah, do me a favor, man. Hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm. And if you want to be notified about future episodes, hit the subscribe bell, because that notification bell will send you notifications anytime we put up a video or go live. Speaking of helping out, as if I haven't already asked enough of you with all of these, I have to click this, I have to like this, I have to subscribe to this. When is it going to end? Well, it doesn't end until you drop us some cash, man. No, if you can, if you like what you see here and you're having a good time, it helps. I just renewed a subscription for some of the software that I use for this live stream, and when it came time to pay, I realized that, man, our awesome Patreon members helped with that, and it didn't come out of my pocket. So, I mean, I put a lot of time already, and having to dig into my wallet sucks, and I'd love to be doing this 5 days a week. So if you got a little extra coin, drop it on us, man. We won't get mad at you. I promise. We appreciate all you people that have already helped us in the past. So, moving on, man, we got some people for you today. We got these two, and guys, Aaron and Curtis, you want to talk to the chat real quick, see how they're doing?
Last
Absolutely.
All right, here we go. Let's talk to him. Check this out. Well, first off, Aaron, hello, welcome to the show. Say hello to everybody in the chat.
In the multiverse of the chat.
Yeah, and everybody in the chat, do me a favor and send some love to Aaron, man. We're having a good time, and this is going to be a fun show.
Sure.
So, yeah. I see we got Melissa Kennedy in the house. Yes. Hey, look, we got Bakertown.
Oh.
Uh-oh. And we got Tom in the house. We will treat your son well. We got a new subscriber. That's awesome. And Justin Kaufman, man, thanks for joining in. This is an exciting time right now. We've had a long drought. Now all of a sudden we're just getting flooded with Marvel stuff. And then other stuff. I had Top Gun, which was fantastic. I saw Top Gun yesterday. Big, fun popcorn movie. And it was really exciting. High adrenaline movie. I enjoyed the hell out of it. And, it's not rocket science. If you like the old Top Gun, you're going to like the new Top Gun. It's motorcycles and jets and competitive pilots and a mission and danger and fun, and I had a great time. So if you have any inkling of interest in this movie at all, I would encourage you to go see it in the theater. Don't wait till it's out on streaming. Go see this in IMAX if you can, because it's something to behold. So moving forward, man, like I said, we got all this stuff coming our way, and I thought all the Marvel stuff was great, but now we're getting flooded with a bunch of great Star Wars stuff. Like, Marvel's been flexing, like, look at me, I'm badass. And the whole time I've thought, man, I wish Star Wars would just be like Marvel. I wish they would give us more stuff, give us good stuff. Like, come on. And now it looks like it's happening. I think they maybe learned from the last trilogy, and instead they're trying to create stuff that is linked to familiar things. Instead of just saying, hey, we're going to throw some random group of kids out there and have a bunch of old heroes that we know, they're going back a little bit and linking things from where the old Star Wars stuff left off, and they're kind of filling in the gaps, and it's really good. But before we get into that, I guess we should talk about Stranger Things, because this last 24 hours has been the great battle of Obi-Wan. Whoops. There we go. Obi-Wan versus Stranger Things. This is what it's been, and it's wild. Like, she's got telekinetic powers, and so does he. Who's going to win? And speaking of battles of peoples with telekinetic powers, later on in the evening, Curtis and I are going to be doing a Versus episode where we talk about Carrie and Firestarter, two iconic telekinetic wild films, and you can catch us breaking those down later. But back to Stranger Things. All right, now Season 4 of Stranger Things is out. Get a look at these times. 78 minutes. 77 minutes, 63 minutes, 78 minutes, 76 minutes, 75 minutes, 98 minutes. Those are some long episodes. Holy cow. Yeah, and if that wasn't enough, Star Wars said, "Oh yeah, you got long episodes? Well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to release our episodes early." So, Obi-Wan released their episodes yesterday at 9 p.m. Pacific time, and they didn't send me any memo. What the hell? Where was the memo?
I had to memo you.
Aaron actually sent me the memo, and it's like, dude, I thought these were coming out 2 a.m. in the morning, my time, which is midnight West Coast time, which I said, got to do it again. Every time there's a new Star Wars or Marvel or Disney thing, I got to stay up till 2 in the morning. I did, and I watched Rogue One, which I'm glad because I always enjoy that movie. But all of a sudden, I get a text from Aaron here saying, "Hey man, this first episode was really good of Obi-Wan." I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about? It's not for another 2 or 3 hours." And sure enough, I pull up Disney.
Race to watch it?
Yeah, I pull up Disney Plus. I go, "Are you kidding me right now?" I got mad. Actually, I was pissed off. I was like, "Really, Disney? I would have watched it as soon as I could have planned my life differently. I could have woken up 2 hours earlier today, had more time to do graphics, all kinds of stuff." Holy crap. Curtis, did you get the memo?
Well, he's part of the chat, so maybe he did.
Curtis, did you get the memo?
I did not get the memo, and it's funny to me that they could release it early, but they couldn't release it like a day earlier on freaking Star Wars Day, May 25th. Like, May the 4th is fine. But that's not the real Star Wars Day. The real Star Wars Day is May 25th. And I don't know why they couldn't drop episode 1 on May 25th and then episode 2 on the Friday that it's going to be on every single week. Like, just recognize it. I don't know why they're fighting it so much. Everybody knows May 25th is the real Star Wars Day. Yeah. So just do it. Like, and then you're way ahead of Stranger Things.
Well, isn't Stranger Things like already all shot? I mean, they could just release all seasons to anything a day early. I mean,
talk into your mic, man. I can't hear. There you go.
I'm just saying anything can be released early.
Yeah.
I mean, all of this content is shot.
Well,
all of Star Wars, all of Stranger Things.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm like, I feel like they're just fighting for ratings. They're like, cool, what are we going to do? Well, we've got 12 episodes. Let's cut them down into 7 episodes and have super long episodes to be like, oh yeah, everybody knows Disney releases short episodes. Everybody's complaining about Disney's short-ass episodes. What can we do? What if we edit these into some super long episodes? And everybody's going to say, man, Netflix knows how to do it, man. Disney needs to take some notes from Netflix.
So
Curtis, what did you
yes.
think of that?
No, so that's the thing. That's what I was going to say is that Netflix itself, revolutionized a lot of things. We know, that's just how streaming kind of got started with them, and Stranger Things kind of revolutionized Netflix within the past however many years. And like, I don't either they didn't want to have 14 episodes, um, and cut it into two, a season this year and a season next year, or like they were like, well, why not? Like, let's just try it and see it, change things up. Like, I don't mind it. They're like mini movies, or in some cases movies.
Yeah.
Straight up movies. It's all like Aaron was saying, it's already filmed. I am a binge watcher, and I appreciate it. I honestly, if Obi-Wan had been dumped as a binge, we'd be talking about the whole season right now.
Oh yes.
Like,
Oh yes.
so
I had to stop watching because I was gonna rewatch them too, like the two episodes. Like,
Yeah. Netflix, is known for releasing series like in their entirety, and you just watch them in 24 hours. And then what's interesting about that is 4 days later, you're completely over it. Like, I do that. I was like, I got to get this out of my life. So I'll watch all of Ozark, and then you get headlines for like 2 days. Everybody's talking about Ozark. But in 3 weeks, everybody's forgotten about Ozark.
Well, I rewatched things into the ground. Like, I mean, if I loved it and I've binged it, I'm gonna go back and rewatch it and re-binge it. Like, I mean, that's what I do.
Well, the thing that's interesting is people got used to binge watching these shows, and then you have shows like Disney shows like Loki, where you have a weekly thing, and people are thinking about these shows all week. And I noticed when Arcane came up, Arcane released a couple of episodes, and then you had to come back for a weekly episode, and then they'd release a few more, and they had it was kind of binging. It was giving you more than one episode at once, but they had it separated in chunks, and so it was kind of a mixture of it was like a hybrid of the Disney style and the Netflix style, and I thought that was really cool.
Did you like that? Because it's a weird pausing.
Yeah.
But
What did you think
both.
about that, Aaron?
Oh no, I'm just saying. It is very odd to get so involved into a show and be binging, and then, of course, have to wait a week. But that weird model, I don't know if I like that, because it gets you started on a binge, and then you have to stop. And so it's just a mixed.
Yeah, it's weird. Curtis, what were you going to say?
No, well, that's the thing too. So I kind of like that model. I prefer all binge. I'll just say, I prefer all binge. And kind of like Aaron, he made a good point. Even if it's a show, if the storyline is cohesive and I enjoy it, I'm gonna rewatch it. Like I rewatch my favorite movies every year at a certain time. Whatever. Like, this is a Halloween movie, this is a Christmas movie, or something like that. So even if it's a show, like I still watch Seinfeld probably yearly, all of them. Like it might be background noise, but I still put it on every year. I'm just saying, like, and so like I am a binger, but at the same time, like, I kind of do like the model that you're talking about too, where not just 30 minutes a week. I don't like, that's not enough for me. That's just pissing me off a little bit. But if you give me a story arc, because that's kind of how comics are framed. Yeah. Like, you give me a story arc, and I'm good. Like that's okay. Like, 2 episodes, maybe 3 episodes, and it kind of completes the story, but leads into the next. That's gonna make me, it'll satiate me instead of being like, get ready for next week. It just really makes me mad. So I want to see more of that model. I'm not saying I prefer it. I'm just I do want to see more of that model where they at least release enough, and see, that's the thing. Maybe instead of 1 or 2 or 3 episodes, it's one basically mini movie like Stranger Things is doing. Now, they did the binge as well, but I'm just saying they might be testing that out to be like, you know what? Maybe if people watch these once a week as a full movie, it'll work.
I think Disney's starting to get the memo, because we're going to talk about it in a little bit with Andor in a little bit, but there's going to be 12 episodes of that So that's exciting for me to know that Disney is making more than a 6-episode. I'm like, dude, if they keep doing these 6-episode
Right.
shows, like, come on, man. No, this is getting ridiculous. Well, are you both excited about Stranger Things? I'm still catching up on last season, so I can't watch yet. I have to get caught up.
I gave up on Stranger. I watched Stranger Things religiously all through like the first 2 seasons. I skipped the 3rd season almost entirely. I just became disinterested. I just started binging season 4, and gosh, I love it. It's back to like old 80s Stranger Things. It's really doubling down on 80s.
Like Goonies or like Goonies and old Stand By Me and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It is. It's doing a good job at it too. I mean, each one is a mini movie. I'm on episode 4.
Holy crap! You stayed up all night watching those.
I stayed up quite late watching that. So yeah, no, but I'm really deep into it, and it's really good, and it's really worth it, and it's so 80s. They're like really drilling down on that. I want to say,
dude, I came from the class of all of us riding our BMX bikes and then ditching them in the yard and running in and watching Goonies. That's my childhood. So I love that stuff. And having walkie-talkies and stuff like that. It's my childhood. Curtis, do you like Stranger Things?
Yeah, so far I'm about 2 episodes in, and it's good. It hadn't quite hooked me yet. The story's good. And it is very 80s, but like the villain's good, but that just the Stranger Things hook that is normally there hadn't quite sunk yet for the first 2 episodes. And I will say this, since we're doing Stranger Things versus Obi-Wan, to me the first 2 episodes of Obi-Wan were so strong. They hooked me a lot more than Stranger Things.
That's well, we're gonna wait till the end of the show.
Jump ahead?
No, you're good.
Spoiler.
Like I mean, I framed it that way just because of they both came out on the same day. You know what I mean? But I want to wait till the end because I realized, you know what? We don't want to have a spoiler discussion with people that haven't seen it yet. So what we're gonna do is invite people to get the hell out of here when we're ready to talk about Obi-Wan. So we're gonna do that at the end. Right before we talk about Princess Predator, we're going to talk about Obi-Wan. So, yes, sir. So what about you guys at home? What do you guys think about Stranger Things? What do you think about Obi-Wan? Which one do you think is winning the war of the weekend, I'll call it? Both of them exciting shows. I think we're all happy to be getting good material, good content headed our way, and keep it coming, guys. Everybody, keep the good quality shows coming because I like watching them. So
he likes everything.
Clint likes everything. That's right. So, guys, let us know what you think in the comments, and let's talk to the chat. See what these guys are doing. Woo! All right. What's up, gang? In the chat. Hey, we got Curtis in the house. Yeah, the boys, Bosch. You're right, dude. We got all kinds of craziness coming this way. James loves Bosch. That's his jam.
Is that his YouTube channel?
That's his. That James guy. Yeah. James loves it. Justin Kaufman in the house. Yes, sir.
Good friend from the past, Justin Kaufman. By the way, good to see you.
All right. Well, that was a fun beginning of a show so far. So how are you guys at home doing? Anybody out there? Yo, he says Justin. Put that in there. Boom.
Kaufman.
Click on them and they pop up. They pop up on the screen.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
See.
He also can't hear me very well. I should.
Yeah,
speak closer.
If you talk.
Stop swatting at me.
Check this out. These mics have a gate on them, so what the gate is designed to get rid of that air conditioner sound.
Okay.
So if you're this far away, it just completely cuts you off. So you gotta stay.
I'll be more violent with my comments.
You just gotta stay up on it.
I'll just be violent with them.
Stay all up on it.
If you can't smell yourself by the end of the show on the mic, you're not doing it right.
You're
spittle,
doing it
the
wrong.
build-up. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. What is this? Yeah.
I'm afraid my father is watching. My father's in the comments. He's over there loving me.
Awesome. Dude, that's cool.
If we ask him to make a comment, it's going to be the worst thing you've ever heard. We do not need.
You don't need
Elderfoot commentary on this.
Sure you do. I'm glad he's watching.
Yeah, no, he's great. I love him.
God, Dad, you're so embarrassing. Oh my
Gosh.
God.
Gosh, Dad.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, Tom. If Aaron cuts up too much, we'll just make him disappear.
Oh, that's
Oh,
lovely.
bum,
Oh, that's
bum,
like
bum.
I watched Lawnmower Man the other night, and that is straight Lawnmower Man stuff. That's the '90s graphics
There we
of Lawnmower Man.
All right. Well, cool. You guys ready to talk about some Star Wars Celebration?
I'd rather be doing that. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's jump into it. All right. Boom! Anaheim 2022 Star Wars Celebration just went down. Holy cow. Man, I want to go to Star Wars Celebration. I never get to do any of that stuff. I've never been to any of those things. Like,
Is that a con? Like
it's a
like
con. Yeah, it's a huge convention. All the
I
Star
don't
Wars,
know.
all this huge Star Wars thing. Yeah. I've always wanted to go to Star Wars Celebration. I love Star Wars, and I want to go see a bunch of. I want to go see a bunch of cosplay and meet people. I heard Harrison Ford was at this Star Wars. They release a bunch of information, and they show trailers, and they show all kinds of cool stuff. Like I said before, they did release dates for Cassian Andor, for Willow, for the new Indiana Jones movie, and so much stuff coming out. And the trailers were great. And after they release them there, then you see them online. Now there's even some stuff that you don't get to see online. There's a new Mandalorian season 3 trailer that was out that just gave a little taste of what's coming. It's not anywhere. I was looking for it online, but you get that stuff for going. That's to treat Star Wars fans, and a lot of times you have a panel of the actors and stuff that show up there. And
I was
it's
just
great.
watching that they actually do like an Apple presentation. Disney does of their new shows coming up, and it's totally like a Steve Jobs presentation of their new shows. It's great. It's great.
And Marvel does it too. That's how they did it with when they let us know that Jane Foster was going to be Lady Thor, that they were going to have Natalie Portman. She came out, and Taika Waititi brought her a hammer, and everybody went ape shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, yes. But one of the things they discussed at Star Wars Celebration was Disney Plus said Thursday that Willow, its live-action original series based on the 1988 fantasy film directed by Ron Howard, will premiere on November 30th. The news was revealed during a Lucasfilm panel at Star Wars Celebration, where the series from Lucasfilm and Imagine Entertainment also got its first teaser trailer, along with some first-look images. This comes to us from Deadline. Yes, sir. Are you guys excited for Willow? Because I'm ready for some Willow.
I didn't know I was excited until I saw it. I didn't know it was coming. I heard something a year ago or something, but I'm so glad it is, and it is sad about no Val Kilmer.
I was just going to say that.
Right.
They had Val Kilmer in the new Top Gun. If they wanted to get creative, they could maybe find a way to put Val Kilmer in the show.
He'll be digital and everything from now on.
He wasn't even digital. He was was in the show, yeah. And they could, and maybe they might. Maybe they are. We just don't know yet. Curtis, are you excited for Willow? Did you like Willow in the 80s as a kid?
Oh yeah, Willow. I loved Willow. I honestly don't understand why it didn't have obviously it had a good following, but as big of a following as I think they thought. I think they thought it was going to be the next big franchise. I loved it. It was on repeat at my house. We loved it to death. But I am glad that it doesn't have Val Kilmer. Not to be mean or anything like that, but Mad Mardigan was. Mad Mardigan was such a spectacular and adventurous and just rock'em sock'em robots character that you never want to see heroes die. Like, you just don't. And with Val not being able to do that stuff, age, our old age is fucking, come on now. But I'm just saying, if you can't portray that same thing, like, let the, and it may have been his choice, hopefully it was, to let that hero stand, let that character stand, and they can say, oh, he's off adventuring, still fighting pirates or something, something like that, where the character doesn't take on what real life.
You know what it sounds like you're
fantasy
talking about?
guys.
You know who it sounds like you're talking about? Indiana Jones. Because the exact same thing can be applied to that. I don't want to watch 80-year-old Harrison Ford trying to pick up treasures.
Yeah.
Like, get that guy in a home. He'll
hey,
be
man,
fine.
watch out. You're talking about it's Han Solo you're talking about.
Yeah, but I don't want to see aging Indiana Jones.
Mind your tongue. That's crazy talk. Dude, I'm a fan of anything Warwick Davis does. I love Warwick Davis. I don't know if you've seen Life's Too Short with him and Ricky Gervais. That's a hilarious show.
What's that on?
I don't even know what channel it's on, but I think I saw it on Netflix. But it's hilarious. It's really funny. Yeah, the guy's great. As a kid, I never was like, I'd seen Willow several times, but it wasn't one of my favorites. Like, you have some movies that you absolutely love.
Well, it's slow. It's kind of slow.
Yeah, and as a kid, I never watched that often. I watched Labyrinth a bunch of times.
There you go.
Sure.
Princess Bride a bunch of times. For some reason, Flight of the Navigator didn't get into it. I don't know why. You know what I mean?
That's not my. Yeah, that's not my one. I can't. Yeah, I don't like that one either.
Yeah, you don't like it either.
It's too creepy.
It's like there's certain ones, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I don't know why I didn't like it. I just didn't. And
like
they're
it was
huge hits.
It's true. It's true.
Huge
a district rule or something that they showed it in all of my schools anytime it was a movie day, and I'm like, this movie is not that good. Why do you keep showing it? Like, anytime it's a movie day, we gotta Fly to the Navigator, and everybody else is like, yeah.
Willow is really slow though. It's really slow. Like, if you watch it, it's like the whole first sequence is like the village and then leaving the village, and like then it starts like halfway through the movie is when the adventure starts with the wizard and everything. I mean, it takes a lot.
I mean, is it any more boring than Lord of the Rings? It's a wizard and a bunch of people walking. They walk for 3 hours. I'm like, hey, there's a bunch of people walking for 3 hours. Still awesome, but I mean, it's people walking. Do we need 3 hours of this? Can we do a 15-minute? Just crunch it down.
How long is it? Isn't it 3 hours? Like, isn't that the length?
I don't know how long.
Willow?
How long Willow?
It's like 2.5.
No, the original. No, the original's not 3 hours. No.
It's something long. Isn't it?
Yeah, but it's not 3 hours.
I guess I'll use my.
It might be 2.5. But
Willow.
But that's the thing too. That's true. Action wise, it does take a while to pick up, but it does have comedy in there that's accessible to kids and to adults too. Because
it's 2 hours. 2 hours and 6 minutes.
Oh,
2 hours and 6 minutes. Yep.
To this day, I'll be like, peck, 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 and like the Baldicut, what's his name? But I just, you're right. It does take a while to get going, but like that's the thing. They're establishing that Willow's the little man, and he's not, this overpowered. Mad Mardigan's our overpowered guy. We got the overpowered guy, but Willow's like the little man, and not even to be a play on words or pun or anything. Like he's, the character that's the everyman character. And then even that, they make him, he is a little person, and he ends up being the hero. Like, and they're establishing that, and they do it so well. And like, I've always loved it. And
in this new one, we see him like as an aged wizard, and being pulled out of retirement. It's kind of the feel.
Yep,
that we get from that trailer.
They're doing what they're doing in a lot of these old franchises that we all keep saying, really, do they need to make another one of these? But they're passing.
They needed to make another Willow.
Yeah, absolutely. I was wondering if they waited too damn long. Like, come on, it's
all their fans died.
Yeah, like we've all we need our spectacles to watch the movie now, but no, or watch the show, but what they're doing is they're passing the torch to a younger crew of people, and that's what they did in the new Ghostbusters. They got a new younger set of Ghostbusters now, and this is a whole bunch of. We got Aaron Kellyman who's playing Jade. You got Tony Revolori. You saw Aaron Kellyman. She was the one that was powered on Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Okay.
One
okay.
of the main one. That was her. Tony Revolori. He's I believe he's in Spider-Man No Way Home.
That's got to be.
He's a villain in a whole bunch of.
By the way, Val Kilmer's IMDb picture.
It's
terrifying.
Yeah, that's what he looks
terrifying.
like. That's what he looks like.
That is.
I mean, yeah. Hey, be nice, man.
Mm.
But it's a whole young, new, fresh crew of people, and they're going to this older wizard to help. And I guess it's like Willow is like Ben Kenobi now, helping the new crew of people,
And yeah, that's like so that worries me a little bit. Like that's so I've been waiting for a Willow sequel forever. It's one of those movies that absolutely should have had a sequel. And again, in my opinion, should have been a franchise or
I think it was
a
planned
trilogy.
to be a bigger franchise.
I think it was. Yeah,
and it just didn't.
It was going to be Lucas's next big thing. Yeah, it straight up was. And then like it didn't do enough or something. And but like I want passing of torches with known franchises that have expanded universes, and just Willow doesn't have that yet. So I hope they don't rush into this, like and force it. Like if they do it right, it's going to be spectacular. I think they're going to do it right. I'm glad Warwick Davis is back.
Well, they've only been working on it for 30 years, so let's hope they.
Yeah, exactly.
Are there?
And yet they can still screw it up.
no doubt, no doubt.
Are there a bunch of are there Willow books? Where a lot of Willow books,
Not
where
that
they or
I think there's graphic novels
or comics or anything.
I think there's graphic
Yeah.
novels of Willow. Not that I've read any, but I think I'm aware of them. But
just curious because it's
yeah, look at those.
I mean, there's a bunch of novels up here.
They are novels. Wow.
Yeah,
I believe it. I haven't read them either, but I believe it because it was. It could have been an easily expanded universe, but it just for some reason didn't take off enough. But it was a hit. It was the 136 million against like $35 million budget. It made money. Like I don't know why. Like
I thought it was a flop.
It's always
I thought it was popularly a flop.
That's what I mean. Maybe the studio thought it was a flop, but like in the article it says like it made
and they were like no more Willow.
I think that's kind of what happened, but like
when we
I
were
think it was a flop. I think it was
when we were kids. It was everywhere. It was huge. Yeah.
How old are you, Clint? Like you're not that much older than me.
I'm
130.
I'm 37.
Yeah, you're just a toddler.
Yeah, you're a baby.
Oh, is that why I see some gray coming in on you?
Yeah.
We just needed the young perspective in here. That's why you're here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's I'm being used right now.
So
137 million against the $35 million budget. And I'll tell you, I that's great, isn't it? 100 million.
As Borat
breaking even, right?
As Borat would say, great success. That's what that is.
And the only thing that I would say is that I think it was probably a loss in the merchandising because even like I loved Willow and we got Willow toys, but they didn't have enough monsters in it, and it was like you got General
nothing to commercialize it, or it's hard.
Well, they had the toys, but it was like I got them and I
person.
didn't even want them because like I want monsters, I want like He-Man stuff and like monsters and this and that, and they had the guy with the skull mask, General
Skeletor,
whatever his name. No, well, right. And then it was like you realize it's just a mask, and then it had that one dragon in there, and it was like it's a very good movie, but like they just if they would have had like because think about Star Wars, Lucas.
Aliens all day.
The majority of its money was it came from merchandising. There was Star Wars everything, and there's aliens and monsters everywhere in that. And then he makes this one, and there's like one dragon, and it's like the movie's spectacular, but whenever it's like comes to toys, it's like I don't want a damn Willow toys. I'll just buy Willow and then have him fight all my cool Star Wars stuff. Like
your best.
I'm Willow.
Figure, your best Willow action figure is just like Val Kilmer with long hair, and you're like, cool, let's go, Val Kilmer.
The
just
the bottom line is, if you wanted to play Willow when you're a kid, all you had to do was walk out, break a branch off, and break all the other side leaves and branches off,
Yeah.
and you have a perfect Willow wand. So I mean,
I had a lot of those.
It had I still pick up sticks and break the branches off and make a willow, and I'm like, dude, willow. I'd still do it, and I'm in my 40s.
Patronus Willow.
Yeah.
Or whatever it
and,
is.
and the merchandising team saw the movie and was like, I'm out. I can't. Kids can just
we're
pick
gonna
up sticks
sell
and
plastic sticks. We're gonna sell plastic sticks. How
They
many
just-
can we make?
Just start selling plants. You make your own
Yeah,
willow
right,
wand.
yeah.
Yeah, hey, it's a plant. That's a plant.
From
yes,
a-
make your own.
Oh my
So,
god.
All right, well, guys out there at home in Willow Land, are you guys excited about Willow? Let us know in the comments. And guys in the chat, how are you? How are you guys doing? Are you guys excited about Willow? Like, what are you thinking here?
The average age of our chat group is probably around 87. And I think by default they're excited about it.
I'm 45. That's how old I am.
You've just revealed yourself.
Yeah, that's a hard maybe. All right.
Hard baby.
Rewatch it, Coffin. Coffin, rewatch it.
How do you
You're gonna
guys
love
know Justin? You guys know Justin?
Oh, me and Coffin go way back.
Way back.
Like circle jerks all the way back?
Yeah, like the band?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Words are fun to say.
Is my mom in the chat?
Yeah,
I don't
my
know.
dad's here. Let's check if my
All
mom
right,
is. Jesus.
let's go on to the next topic. Disney has officially announced Star Wars Skeleton Crew, a new Disney Plus series that will launch in 2023 and will star Jude Law. Revealed at Star Wars Celebration, Star Wars Skeleton Crew is created by Spider-Man No Way Home's John Watts and Christopher Ford, and Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni will serve as the producers. This comes to us from IGN. Yes, sir. Hey, we lost Curtis.
Jude
There he
Law-
is.
Jude
Ninja.
Law's head is
Ninja.
getting fat.
He just has a big beard.
I guess
But
that's
man,
it, yeah.
Skeleton Crew. This is the project that John Watts is working on. We were talking about the other day. It wasn't named yet. It had the Simpsons code name. What was that Simpsons code name?
Was it something rodeo?
Grammar Rodeo.
Grammar Rodeo, which is an episode of Simpsons where Bart, they basically get a fake driver's license and go out. What do they go off to the rodeo? Is that what it is?
They go to Branson, Missouri. They don't know where they're going to go first, but they decide to go to Branson, Missouri.
That's awesome. Well, and basically this tells us that maybe we're going to have some kind of Goonies, E.T. kind of kid adventure, some Stranger Things kind of kid adventure where they're heading out and Curtis actually theorized that this is going to be them stealing the Millennium Falcon, and this is what happened when Han lost the Falcon. I don't know what's going to happen, but I know Jude Law is in the mix now, and I like Jude Law.
I love him.
Since Gattaca, I've always liked Jude Law,
Oh,
and
that's a good movie.
yeah, it's a fantastic movie. We need to do that versus with Gattaca and something else.
We
I
really
just
do.
rewatched that recently. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Beautiful.
great.
Beautiful.
How did you beat me? I didn't save enough to swim back. Such a fantastic movie. But yeah, Skeleton Crew. We talked a little bit about this last week, but what's y'all's excitement? I mean, we had Michael Navarrete on last week, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't know that I want to mix my like a Star Wars." Spielberg Goonies type of a situation. I don't think we need to do that. I kind of like the idea. I like a mixed bag. I like the idea of having spy shows, kid adventure, serious Jedi thing, the acolyte, dark side type of thing. And so what do you think, Aaron? Are you excited about?
Look at my face.
Yeah, like what do you
I
think?
look excited.
You do. Like,
No, I'm like you. I like all things, right? I like all things Star Wars. I love any sort of content that fills in the little gaps of the storyline. But, gosh, a critique of The Mandalorian was kind of that it lost the feel of Star Wars, and it went off and did its own feel. Now, I will say, and we'll probably get to this, but the new Kenobi, the new Obi-Wan show, brings that feel of classic Star Wars back. Now, that being said, that's what I like. That epic. What it is it's large rooms, it's epic feel. That's the classic Star Wars, and the scores, that's the classic Star Wars feel. And I do like the spy aspect of Rogue One. Like that it is a change in pace. It is a change in tone.
Well, we'll definitely
I
talk.
don't know if Skeleton Crew is going to be doing that, though. We'll see how well it does it. Or maybe it finds a healthy balance between the spy and the Goonies and the classic Star Wars. Let's see that happen. That would be good. But I don't know enough right now to... I'm hopeful. It's Star Wars, so I like it.
There's not even a trailer out yet to really know. All we know is the few details that they gave us. Curtis, what do you think, man? And you also look like you wanted to rebuttal that that Mandalorian doesn't feel like Star Wars. I saw you make a face, so go ahead.
No, but no, he made a good point. But I'm gonna agree and disagree with him at the same time because I can do that. He makes a good point. That's true that it didn't necessarily feel like Star Wars, but I think that like that's one of the things I liked about it. That it was within the universe and it didn't necessarily, it like at certain times it did, but it felt like its own thing that was part of that universe. And I think like that's how I want the universe to expand. I really would be fine. And I know I don't speak for everybody, but if I never saw Luke Skywalker again, I love Mark Hamill. Like if it makes sense, do it. But like whenever he was in like at the end of Mando, I was like, if they bring in Luke, like when that ship landed in Mando 2, and I was like, if Luke jumps out and saves the day again, like I'm done with this show. Like I do like, and it I know it might not have felt like it, but George Lucas really envisioned Star Wars as a samurai Western. Like he just kind of like, that's the idea he was going with it. And Mando just leans more to the Western side.
It's very true. Yeah. Here's the Kurosawa, film fanatic. So yeah. And so like the idea for Skeleton Crew, I'm on board with. I'm gonna watch it. But I do like the idea of taking known quantities and allowing directors to do what they will. And if it fails, like that's okay. Like Battle for Endor and what's the other Ewok movie? Like they exist. Okay. It's fine. My kids watched them. They liked them. It's okay. Like I watched them when I was a kid. I loved them. I don't ever want to see them again, but my kids like them. So I kind of watch them. Like it's okay if they fail. Like they don't have to be masterpieces every time. They can be dead ends.
Fan the
They're
universe.
sort of like story
Yeah,
dead
that's
ends
exactly.
that are fine, that they're told, and then leave them alone.
Yes. Right. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Like, and I'm not just saying like make any kind of Star Wars trash that you can, but like make something worthwhile in a different direction, and I'll be okay with it. Like it, and that's the thing too. You can always kind of be like, it's Star Wars, but it's not really Star Wars. Like and it's however you feel. We worry about canon so much, and I'm one of those canon people. I'm a freaking comic books nut. I've got all this stuff. I worry about canon, but at the same time, if I don't like a certain movie, I don't really rewatch that movie that much, like I just like, it doesn't have to be, even if it is canon, there's a certain Zelda games that I don't like and I just don't play them that much. Like, but I replay all the others. Like it's, canon, I guess, is important to us, but it doesn't have to be, on an individual level. So just like,
that's why I say those stories that fill in all the little gaps, like of a universe. Like, because all we had for Star Wars since the 70s was the first 3 movies, and then we got 3 more, and now it's like,
Battle for Endor.
We did have
and
the
other
all
Ewok
those
story.
little things that paint that greater picture. That's why I like it all. Yeah. It's hard to say that it's something bad. It's just a different slant of the universe,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, I'm excited. I think it's going to be cool. Like Skeleton Crew, I think it's going to be good. John Watts,
Jude Law.
Jude Law. First of all, shepherd these kids into the, and maybe he's going to be an awesome villain. He plays a really good villain too.
Ooh,
so
is he a villain in
I don't know.
that?
I don't know if he's a helping him or they're running from him. I don't know.
Mm.
I like the idea of either because he plays a great villain too.
Yeah,
and
that
John,
makes me more excited.
yeah,
Yeah.
and John Watts tells a good story. You know, he took us through this last trilogy of Spider-Man, and it was cool. What you got, Curtis?
Well, and that's the thing. He's proven he can tell a very convoluted story coherently. Like there might be issues here and there, but like he's proven that he can he can tell a very convoluted story with the MCU and Sony and the Home No Way Home. Like he can tell it. Like
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. Well, what do you guys at home think? Let us know in the comments, and guys in the chat, what do you guys think? How are we doing over here? Give it that good nostalgia try. Let's not have a Jedi in this one. What's wrong with you? Not have a Jedi? Jedi are like, let's not have a lame Jedi. Like, let's not have let's have a gray Jedi. I don't want to have an obedient Jedi that is fearful of what the council thinks.
Yeah.
That drives me crazy.
You know what's funny? I always say this about Marvel Marvel shows, is they pick the safest, lowest budget effect hero to do a series about. It's like Iron Fist. Well, guess what? He doesn't fly or do anything. He punches.
He doesn't even.
It's like, so no.
He doesn't even do that.
He doesn't even do that. Anyway, yeah, and so it's like with all of their choice, like Daredevil, like, you know, he's ninja, cool. There's no special effects. Like, I mean, they choose their safest heroes to do Marvel shows about. Same sort of thing with Star Wars. I was afraid of that, but by going Obi-Wan, I mean, Ashoka is going to be amazing. And there you have makeup for days and Jedi work for days. That's going to be awesome.
If you saw Ahsoka
I'm sorry.
Yeah, if you saw Ahsoka in the Mandalorian episodes where she popped in, she was badass. Like Rosario Dawson is perfect for her.
They just generally pick low budget.
She just needs to be in more stuff.
She needs what, Curtis?
She just needs to be in more stuff. Period. She's so awesome.
She's awesome. Yeah, and
I'd watch her do anything. Like she could be like cleaning, sweeping the floor. So I don't.
Yeah,
I'd
that's
watch
what I
it
say.
now.
I'd watch her mow the yard. I'm good with that. She's got a show on HBO Max it's a little short series that's based on a DC Comics novel or graphic novel or something. I don't know. It's based on DC Comics that I haven't watched. I don't even know what the hell it is. It's kind of a post
animated.
No, it's live action. It's like a post-apocalyptic show, and it looks cool. I just haven't had a chance to watch it. I forgot and
Yakko Mus 86. Welcome, brother. That's JB.
Yeah, Goonies in space. Let Sloth find a lightsaber. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, man. Oh, hey, y'all chat amongst yourselves. I gotta go. I'll be right back.
All right. So, and that's one thing with their kind of branding of this show, of Goonies, and they like everybody kind of ties everything into Stranger Things. So we'll see how that works out. But I think it's just mainly because it's the main characters are going to be kids, or tweens or whatever it is.
Are they young adults?
They
Is
are.
that the whole premise?
Yeah, they steal a ship and go on it's some sort of adventure. But I think that's the thing too. Like, as good as it or bad as it's gonna, I don't think it's gonna be bad, but like it might be okay. Yeah, I mean it's Star Wars. Like, yeah, it's not gonna be bad, but like as good as it could be, when they're doing stuff like that, they're kind of tying it to this season of Stranger Things, or to the ending of Stranger Things.
Coattail.
And well, yeah, and I'm so far enjoying the Stranger Things, but I've heard a weird rumor that there's something coming out of left field that's going to kind of piss me off a little bit about the villain. We won't talk about it, but
about Stranger Things villain or about Star Wars villain?
No, the Stranger Things villain. So if Stranger Things, the final season or whatever you want to call it, bombs, then that's not necessarily best path to take. So
That
You know.
final episode, 2.5 hours, 2.5 hour long final episode.
Oh, I'm ready.
I don't know. I mean, you said you watched 2 episodes of it so far.
Yeah.
So have you not seen the villain yet? I forget.
No,
when
I've seen
they
him. I've seen
introduced but
I've seen it. And when I say the rumor, I was saying what you were talking about earlier, but I don't want to
figured.
talk about it
I
right
don't
now.
want to spoil.
Okay,
You know,
okay.
I've seen
Yeah, no,
4 of
yeah.
the 7 episodes, so I'm over halfway through. Had to go to bed at some point last night, but yeah. But no,
So that, like, if they make it work, it just like anything, you could. I mean, you could
It's
do
just an
anything
isolated
as long as you make
story.
it work.
Yeah.
But is it? But does it make sense? And I'm not asking you to tell me. I'm just saying, like, in general, if it makes sense, if you can do it, like,
Well, it's like
within
a comic
because
book. It's a comic
they have-
book, meaning it's a story that's this long that fits into the universe that is compartmentalized. So
Okay.
I think that's what it is. I think they're
So
starting sort of that trend.
So that's the thing. So if it fits into the universe, so if as long as it does, because that's the thing. Stranger Things has absolutely built a universe by
Mhm.
now. Like
Yeah.
it's got its kind of rules and it's kind of this and that. Like if it's just out of left field, because the comic books do that too. Like they just, hey, here we need a story of the month, and then they throw it in there, and then you're
Change
like,
everything.
What the hell is this?
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
They
it
do.
changes
like,
back
and,
at the end, so it's like
Yeah.
nothing happened.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Compartmentalized
long-
storylines.
as long as it makes sense, then I'm down with it. I might not necessarily like it, but again, like I don't have to rewatch those, But
I will tell you, at
that's the only
episode
thing that worries
4,
me.
it doesn't make. I mean, it's not explained, but it makes
Right.
sense. I
Okay.
guess.
Okay.
So I don't know the answer to that if it does come around. And
No,
tie
you don't.
everything together
Yeah,
or something. But
yeah, you don't
it's
have to
good.
answer right now. But
It's
I'm
fun.
just saying, like that's the thing. They're hitching their boat or their boat to this wagon. Like you gotta be careful, man. Like because it'd be like.
Well, the
although I
threat
was fine.
there
I was
is that if they stray away from their
Right.
main developed storyline and we get too
but
far
nobody's
away
gonna
from it,
remember that.
right? And then you got to
Nobody's
tie
gonna
or
you know,
remind us all back again. That could be a threat that happens
Right.
if again, I haven't seen how they tie this season into the other thing,
Right.
but they do reference quite a bit the other seasons. So it is
Yeah,
there-
that's what I mean.
there's just references, but I don't know how it all fits together yet either.
And like that with something like Lost, I was totally fine with the ending of Lost. I mean, I
didn't
enjoyed
even
it.
watch Lost. Don't even talk to me about Lost.
Oh, you haven't watched
I just
Lost?
heard how disappointed everyone was.
Dude, it's so. But see, I'm a binge watcher, so literally, like before
Yeah.
Netflix and stuff came along, I wouldn't watch shows until they were done, because I'd started watching Dexter, and like having to wait a year for the next episodes, I was like, screw this,
Yeah.
I'm not watching anything else until it's over. And like I just started watching Game of Thrones like last year.
Oh my gosh,
like-
you're like my father. Actually, I made some Game of Thrones reference to him earlier today, and he's like, "I've only seen season 1," and I'm like, "I don't even
Yeah,
know how to talk
that's-
to you then. Like, go away. Like,
That's
you
how-
gotta watch it all."
That's how I am. But it's annoying because it was like I would go up to people and I'd be like at work and I'd be like, "So have you seen Lost? Like blah blah blah, Lost blah blah." And everybody's like, "Yeah, like 6 years ago, dude. Get away from me! Like, what are you talking? Like, what's
if you
wrong
just
with you?"
rewatch a show today,
Like,
yeah, I know. And then you're like trying to like make references to it, and you're like,
I want to talk to somebody about
"How about
Lost."
those
And they're like, "I don't-"
Lannisters?" And people are like, "That was, you're late
Yeah.
to the party."
Yeah. It was great until they all died. Like what?
Yeah, right. Someone makes some off comment that's just like
Yeah.
a spoiler that you had no idea. I'm surprised you haven't been spoiled then on it too. I'm surprised
What,
that
no,
you want to watch
Game of
it.
Thrones?
Yeah, and that no one's like
Yeah.
ruined anything for you. I'm just
Because
surprised.
we're already late to the party, so like that's what I mean.
They're
Nobody wants to
I'm
talk about
sure
it anymore.
Spoilers are
Like,
everywhere out there, and it's
well,
like
but
you
I don't go
dodged them
looking
all.
for them. I don't go looking for them.
Yeah.
We got
What
we
I
got
miss?
titanium.
What
This
I
guy's
Titanium-
back. This guy that likes everything.
Yes, sir.
And he also likes Titanium Wrench. Y'all think today's movies in general are up to pre-2000s movies, plot-wise?
Oh, see, that's where Spielberg wrote the Bible on that 90-minute Jurassic Park formula.
That's an excellent question.
And I think movies today are more creative than that because it was formulaic and that got to be old and boring and expected. But with a longer runtime now, they can be more creative, and I think they do a good job. I think it's better now.
I could tell you, Curtis and I just watched The Craft and The Crow, and
You did?
Yeah.
To back?
We did. That was last week.
that was last week for
Last week.
Versus, and it's, I mean, it can be painful watching some older movies. It's
It
weird
can.
as we grow. Sometimes the storylines are amazing. Sometimes they're simple, and that's why they're amazing. Sometimes they've been redone so many times that people are trying to make it different, and they veer like way off. I don't know. What do you got, Curtis? You look like you're about to say something.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, like you're making a good point because like that's the you can watch some movies like The Wizard of Oz, or that's always gonna be my go-to. But like some movies are just timeless. It doesn't matter if you're living in the year 3000. It hits and you're good and you're good.
Aliens
And then
too.
some movies, it's like, well, I mean, fair enough. Like there's just some, but at the same time, there are some where it's like I don't get any of the references here. This is like, why are they doing that? What's going on? Like, it doesn't quite land because it's not as universal. And I'm not saying it's based necessarily solely on that time period, like, because some movies are, but it's just so ingrained in that time period that they don't carry that weight. They don't.
I have an example of something that lives better in memory. Because I
What?
think that's what you're saying. Is when a
Pretty
movie
much,
is
yeah.
great in memory, but when you rewatch it, you're like, gosh, this is harsh. Is
Yeah.
Fern Gully. You go watch Fern Gully, you will see how bad the animation is, how stereotypical the dialogue is. And it's one of those movies where, like, I mean, I do the Bartok rap. I can rap
Right.
the Bartok rap, but I don't ever want to watch that movie. It's just it's a low quality film, but it's part of everyone's memory. And it's it lives best there. That's all
We just saw it in The Mandalorian. I mean, all right, Book of Boba Fett was Fern Gully.
What, the story model?
Yeah.
The whole, that's the whole, like,
Dances with Wolves. Yeah,
like,
exactly.
yeah.
Or
That's
Avatar.
Avatar.
Just what?
There you
Just
go.
yeah.
That's that.
Oh, damn it! You'll beat. Don't say my
We did. Jinx. We all said it. Yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting. It's all just Fern Gully.
It is. It is.
Well, cool. You guys want to go get back into the next topic?
Let's do it.
All right.
Are we on to Obi-Wan yet?
Not yet. We're on to talk about some Cloak and Dagger stuff. Is what we're on to. Not the actual Cloak and Dagger, but
The Andor.
yeah,
Cloak
the
and
Andor
Dagger.
series. First trailer for Andor puts Diego de Luna back in the Star Wars galaxy, along with the trailer reveal. Excuse me. A second season of the show was confirmed Thursday at Star Wars Celebration in Anaheim, California. Season 1 will debut August 31st with 2 episodes. Showrunner Tony Gilroy, who's known as the savior of Rogue One, revealed 12 episodes have already been filmed, with 12 more planned for the second season that will film in November. So this is super exciting for so many reasons. Holy crap. I don't know if you guys watched the trailer. Did you guys watch the trailer?
Oh yeah.
I did. I have opinions.
Yeah, we'll get to you. I will call on you for your opinions in a moment, sir. This show, I think, is the most exciting Star Wars thing I've seen in a long time. And I just watched the new Obi-Wan series, which I thoroughly enjoyed. But this show looks fantastic. It's my opinion. I liked the whole thing. I liked the cast. I liked the bell ringing. Vibe. The vibe of the whole vibe of this trailer is really cool. And pretty much, Tony Gilroy, he saved Rogue One. Like they had been working on this movie for a long time, and it had some problems, and they brought him in basically just to rework some things, he pretty much saved the movie. And now the idea that they have him working on the Andor series instead of the director of Rogue One just goes to tell you he really showed that he's a great storyteller. And so they filmed this thing instead of doing it all in the volume like they've been doing a lot of their series. They filmed a lot of this in Europe, from what I understand. I heard my man. My man, yeah, on the Campia show, Robert Meyer Burnett said, and I go, oh, interesting. Yeah, I always like that guy's show. But anyway, this show, it looks exciting. It's going to be a spy show. Anytime you have a rebellion, and I like the episodes of The Mandalorian, like with Bill Burr. With Mando and Bill Burr, that shows the rebellion, it shows the Empire, and they're going through, and the oppressive Empire. It almost reminds me of Nazi Germany coming in, and the people, and you get a little feel of that in Obi-Wan with the Inquisitors running around. You know what I mean, like picking on people. But
yeah.
You know, but
Sure.
I just like that vibe that shows how big and controlling and over the top the Empire is. I think that's super cool. And
That was the point of the trailer. Is like they say things like they got too big, they got too comfortable.
Yeah,
And it's about how established and comfortable the Empire is.
awesome, man. I'm going to ask you about what you think about the trailer in just a second, as soon as I finish my spiel here. But like, pretty much, like this whole movie is going to show the network of rebels and all that leading up to the events of Rogue One. Rogue One leads up to the events of A New Hope, and I think it's cool. Like Cassian Andor was a cool character in Rogue One, which I watched last night, and this pretty much lets you know what he was up to. When the series, I think we know we're going to have 24 episodes. When it's done, it's going to take you all the way up to Rogue One, and I think it's exciting. I think them filling in more gaps, and I didn't see anything about. I didn't see the Mandalorian hanging out in the background. I didn't see. I don't see Carl Weathers over in the corner over here, and I don't see Luke Skywalker hanging out over here. That's what was great about the film Rogue One, is that it was separate, but it was still in the universe. And I have a feeling that's what the show is going to be all about. And for me, this is cool. This is not Jedis doing stuff. This is a bunch of normal people, and how normal people fight the Empire, not how a bunch of light-bladed sorcerers fight the Empire. This is how the people, and it's supposed to deal with a lot of things like propaganda, turning normal people against other people, and a lot of things that we might see weird parallels into real human, stuff in the world. So which is exciting. So. Well, let's start with Aaron. Aaron, you're ready to talk about it. What do you got?
No, and I like your take on it. I was having this conversation with my father too. But,
Clint, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Clint, you just described it better than the article did. So good job,
think
brother.
that was the best explanation I have ever heard about this trailer. I was about to say, why am I watching this movie? What is the point? What's the intrigue here? I mean, Rogue One, cool. That's how we got the Death Star plans. That's cool. That's a cool little backstory to the main story. Why am I watching the Andor? What is the point of this movie? Is kind of, I don't even know what the movie's about. It's a series.
It's a series. Oh, you're talking about
so it is a series.
It's a 12-episode series. Well, the other exciting thing is that we're actually going to get 12 episodes per season instead of 6.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Maybe there'll be 10-minute episodes.
Well, and like I said, like any content, any sort of storyline that fills in the gap of the Star Wars universe is going to be good. I want to see it. But I don't even get the point of the show. Like, after watching that trailer, you say it's spycraft. I'm sure it is, because it stars Diego. But in what aspect or why? Like, why? What's the point? I don't know. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it, of course. But even after that trailer, I don't know what the point of the whole show is. I don't know. It looks high quality. It looks good. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
but-
Curtis, what do you got, man?
No, well, that's it's after watching it, I was like, God, I got to rewatch Rogue One because I mean, it was one of my favorite of the new Star Wars movies. It probably was my favorite. And I don't know if I'm probably not alone in that. But of the new Star Wars movies, it was my favorite. But I still haven't seen it in a while. And after watching that, I was even talking to Clint before the show. I was like, man, you're gonna have to catch me up. I don't remember some of this stuff. And I made me want to rewatch Rogue One, and at the same time, like, but honestly, man, yeah, Clint, like you just nailed it better than the article. Like I watched the trailer, I read the article, and like you sold it better than both of them did. I was definitely gonna watch it, but I was like, it looks good, and I'm gonna check it out, but. Like now, I want to even watch it even more. Damn it!
Dude,
it's basically pre-war Germany, like and like how the people are dealing with it and stuff like that. Like that's awesome.
That's I really like got interested in seeing the and like I said, seeing Bill Burr and him when they steal a tank and they have to drive in to go and that one episode where Mando has to take his helmet off and stuff and like
and they can't move basically because of the dynamite in the back.
Yeah, that one. And they're having a conversation and that episode really got to me too because they're having a conversation and he was like, yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm just like you. And he's like, I'm nothing like you. And he goes, yeah, you've got your lines that you draw, but then you'll bend the rules. Like, oh, you can't take your helmet off, but you can take your helmet off, put on a different helmet. If it fits what you got to do to save the kid. Like, we're all humans and we all have our line and we can all push the line around if it meets what. And I was like, that's an interesting take for Bill Burr to say. And then later you end up with Bill Burr at the table with that one guy and to see a perspective of a soldier that had to do a bunch of terrible stuff and because he thought he yeah, you told me to do it. He believed in the cause. He was following orders. And then all of a sudden that guy sacrificed a whole bunch of his friends and a bunch of soldiers just to win. And like that's why he went ahead and shot the guy. And it's just interesting to think like there's all these crazy things that are going on. And you might have a stormtrooper or some guy that's like to hear his side of the story and to think like, wow, and human beings like in the real world have these things all the time where they follow orders and they have to do terrible things and whatnot. I just think it's fascinating. Like, this is fiction. It's freaking science fiction, but it's exciting and it's interesting for me to hear about what somebody had to do or to just to get to point A to point A in my life. This is the first movie that I ever fell in love with as a toddler. Like I love Star Wars. So now as a grown-ass old fart, I'm learning these little stories, filling in the glue and the mortar between the bricks of what I grew up with as entertainment, and now it's becoming complex and smart, instead of just a bunch of guys waving lasers around.
By the way, that's why I love Solo. I rewatch Solo more often than anything else in the Star Wars universe because it is a little bit of like just the everyday fill in the gap type story.
Yeah. Did you like Solo, Curtis?
I don't think I ever got around to seeing it. I heard so many bad things. I honestly
it's
don't
good.
think I don't know if I check it out.
I love it.
It's good. It's good. It's a good movie. The guy who played Solo did a good job.
Yeah.
I recently in that Vanity Fair article that they did a huge article in Vanity Fair, but they talked about that and because of that movie. It flopped so bad. It cost a lot of money. They kept having to switch people, and they finally got Opie, what's his name, Ron Howard, as the director who finished the movie, and so they ended up spending like I think something like $300 million or something to film that movie. So
it's never gonna make its money back.
And so it flopped. Like they lost.
They were gonna
money.
do a whole series of singular character movies. Like Solo was the first, and then we're gonna do the Bounty Hunter one.
Boba Fett. They were gonna do that.
Was gonna be a movie.
Yep.
And then they had like 3 more lined up, and because Solo failed hard, they stopped all of it.
They were basically doing what Fox was doing with where they were gonna do like Wolverine Origins and then so and so Origins and it didn't work out.
You can't release the team movie first and then go back and do that stuff. It doesn't
That's true.
like you gotta like introduce these characters like that, and then people will love them or hate them. Like you don't doesn't work that way. I mean,
I love Logan.
no,
Oh, what I was
but
going
no,
to
but
say.
that was a future.
Well,
Logan was different, and that was a slightly different universe too. But Kathleen Kennedy basically just said, "Hey, we're not going to recast people like they did," which is kind of funny. But they, I guess she's saying, "Hey, somebody like Harrison Ford is not replaceable, so we're not going to try and do that. Maybe now the technology is come around that if they need to do something, they can deep fake them. But we're not.
Yeah.
But they're like, they basically realized, hey, trying to simulate the charisma of Harrison Ford is a fool's errand, and we tried and it didn't work out, and we're not going to do that anymore. But
and at the same time, that's, I mean, that's good. They can deep fake him. They can do all that stuff, but like, it's just not.
We'll
It's-
know. We'll know it's fake.
Well, of course, yeah, of
And
course.
there's that
But-
separation.
But like you're picking these characters because everybody goes into these movies, these ensemble movies like Star Wars, like Avengers, or like whatever it is you want to pick. They go into these ensemble movies and they pick their favorite character. Okay, there's always going to be an audience favorite or whatever, but like they have their own favorite character. Like Han Solo, like Luke was always my favorite. Like he's the hero. Han Solo was the
You're a
anti-hero.
Luke person. Wow.
I am, dude.
he's got a
Oh,
Luke
gosh.
tattoo.
Oh gosh.
Sorry. No.
Where is it? Oh, there you
I
go.
got
A Marvel
Captain.
pick there.
Like but I'm like it's like Luke was my guy, and I love Han Solo. Han Solo is so fucking cool, but just I'm not a Han Solo type. I'm more like Luke.
What is-
I don't like. I'm
what is the
hero
Han
hero
Solo
guy.
type?
I'm a Han Solo type. I always liked Han Solo
There you
more.
go. Yeah.
I liked Luke. I liked the Force. I liked the fact that he could do stuff, but I always thought Han Solo was cooler.
Luke's whiny. I like Han Solo.
Everybody, well, that's the thing.
I thought
Everybody's
we
like
were going
Luke's
to Kachi Station to get power converters.
Luke is whiny as hell, but he's the he's the hero, and like everybody's like oh, but Luke's so goody this and that. And like I'm the oldest brother, like I'm the oldest of 6. Like I had to be the goody, like that was my job. So you know what, Luke's my guy. Like I can't be the anti-hero. Like sorry. So like it's just stuff like that. Like so, when you're doing stuff like this, you're basically picking these characters and then recasting him and then putting a story that like apparently it was based on the book. I don't know. I haven't read the book in forever. There's a good 2 or 3 books, the young Han Solo, that it was supposedly based on. But I'm not saying again, I have not seen it, but like just the idea is just not a good idea. Like, and even with Marvel or Fox going back and doing it with Wolverine and stuff, there are so many backstories. There's certain ones that you could choose, and that's the thing. People identify with their own individually. When you've already got it working in an ensemble cast, just leave it there. Don't future stories are fine because like this is what he did after the ensemble cast stuff. But going back and doing that, I don't know.
I will challenge you to go watch Han Solo. I think you really enjoy it. There's a whole movement. Dustin loves that movie too. There's a whole movement of people that are like that want another Han Solo with the same guy that are like, dude, this guy got slighted. He did a good job. It's actually a really good movie, and just the fandom who had their guard up and didn't want to like that movie when they walked into it, shit on this movie, and it didn't get a
You
fair
get to
shake.
see the Kessel Run.
Yeah,
You get to see the
it was.
Kessel Run.
It was in less than 12 parsecs.
In less
Holy
than
crap!
it. Yeah.
No, and it was a fun. It really was a fun movie. I enjoyed it.
I really like it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would just say, have an open mind and check it out. I will say, hold on a second. Hold on. Okay, never mind. Okay, good.
I probably will.
Aaron Kellyman, who is also in the that I said earlier, was also in the Falcon and Winter Soldier, who's the main bad girl in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
She's in Solo, and we've been talking so much about Star Wars. I'm like, did they double cast her in 2 characters for Star Wars?
Oh my God!
No. But don't worry, guys, they didn't. It was actually Willow. So my bad. I was just like, wait a minute.
Isn't there a guy that has like 4 characters in like one universe, and it's some male actor? I think it was like Jude Law.
Stan Lee.
I think it was Jude Law or someone.
Well,
it has like 4 identity, or might even.
Chris Evans. Well,
Yeah,
if you're talking
it's
about
something.
Chris Evans was. Go ahead.
Oh, he was Storm and in Captain America, but then you also had the Eternal, who was also in, but she was covered in makeup, but she was like in Guardians of the Galaxy, and she was in Eternal.
There's someone that
The main character, the main.
I mean, not some Hayek. Oh no, Cersei.
No,
yeah.
the main girl that changes that kills the
That's Cersei. That's Cersei.
yeah, she's also, I think she's the one with the antennas, the empath.
Oh, okay.
I think that's her under all that makeup.
And that's the thing. Some people just look like superheroes. Like, let's be honest. Like,
Yeah,
some people
I mean,
just
like-
look like superheroes.
I was born with this physique. It's nothing I can do about it, you know.
Turn it off. Turn it off.
Yeah. Like, I wish I had more of a chin. Like, that's why I grow my beard, because it's not where I want it to be. So my chin looks like 3 inches like bigger whenever I don't have my beard.
It's a great
But
chin.
you know, if you got a big old, well, it's fine, but it's not great. Thank you, sir. But like some people just look like superheroes, and that's like a lot of casting goes into that. I'm sure that if I watch Solo, I probably will enjoy it. I'm not one of those people like I've had this like I'm not gonna watch that crap or whatever. I just never got around to checking it out. But again, I don't like.
It's got that thing about it where you're just like, I don't want to like this. You know what I mean? Like.
It's a chase movie. It's a fun, high-tempo movie.
I went in and
like
when I left,
constant.
I was like, all right, that was good. That was
Yeah.
way better than I thought it was, and like I was kind of mad for prejudging the movie, and it is what it is, dude. It's hard. Like I said, I'm a Han Solo guy, so I'm like, get the hell out of here, dude. What are you doing? So,
Yeah.
but speaking
Oh,
of,
fair enough. So you're saying you went in with it like you can't. Like it's not going to be good.
I was like, get the
because
F out of here.
Like, yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
like no, and then I was like, the dude's not. It's a new actor's
pulls it off.
interpretation, but he did a good job, and he was likable and
He's
charismatic.
believable.
He's
as
believable.
A young
Yeah,
Han Solo.
and it was good. It was a good movie. It's just if
It's high tempo.
if
It's like
this
chase
what-
movie.
if this wasn't a you're replacing Harrison Ford thing, this kid
Right.
who played that guy would be a big star right now. Like and I think he got if this was the Snyder, if he was in Rebel Moon instead of this, he would
Yeah,
be
right?
huge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like poor
In
guy.
character, but
Yeah,
yeah.
come on. Anyway, all right. Well, speaking of irreplaceable Harrison Ford
Well,
stuff.
Real quick, Titanium Wrench says they want to know if we have any good recommendations for anything like Alien 2 or The Fifth Element.
Kudos for
I
Fifth
would say-
Element reference.
So-
I
what-
love that. I just
Yeah,
watched
good
that. I really just watched that like 2 nights ago again too.
That are similar to Alien 2 or The Fifth Element.
Just solid
boy.
sci-fis.
Hmm.
I mean,
I would say, go ahead.
I don't know.
You go first.
I would say Pandorum, man. If you haven't seen Pandorum,
that's
such-
crazy.
yeah, it's such a good under the radar sci-fi.
I was
and
gonna
it was
say
one of the-
Moon. Moon is great.
Moon is very good. Moon is very good.
Sam Rockwell.
Do you know what's fantastic show? And this isn't new. This is like a decade old, if not longer. But and this is a series. But Battlestar Galactica, the series. If you've never, a lot of people
yeah, the
never gave that a
series is
chance.
great, yeah.
Is fantastic, dude. It's I think it's from 2008 or 9.
Can I tell you a story about it? Then?
And yeah, I'll just say real quick, like it's fantastic. If you don't know what it's about, long story short,
Even
Don't-
better.
Don't watch. Yeah, no. If they don't know what it's about,
I'm gonna give them
it.
the synopsis. Humans and robots go to war. Humans go away. and they make a treaty with the robots that they're called Cylons, and they're not going to fight anymore. And after and they've been meeting every year on this treaty, and they just meet in a room and be like, okay, cool, we're not going to fight anymore. You can keep our old planet. We'll see you later. We're going to live out here in space. And so basically this goes on for years and years and years and years and years until one day the Cylons figure out how to do bio robots. And so instead of being just metal looking things, yeah, they're basically Terminators. And so the whole thing about it is there's some crazy stuff going on. You don't know who's a Cylon, who isn't, and it makes for a really interesting thing. You're watching people's behavior. You're like, what the? She's a Cylon? It's my favorite character. Or you're like, dude, she's a Cylon. I know it, and she's not, or he is, or whatever. Anyway, Curtis.
And the beauty of it is just like Secret Invasion. If you've read the Marvel comic, like the Cylons don't know they're Cylons either. They've got implanted memories, and it's like they're like, I'm not a fucking Cylon. Are you crazy? And they're like metal showing and shit. Like oh yeah, no, like they don't know. It's not like awesome. They're like, I've been figured out. Blah blah blah. No, they don't know they're Cylons. Well, yeah, some do, right? But like it's amazing because it's like the ones that you out of left field, I was like, oh my God. And they're like, no, I'm not. No, I'm really not. Like, what are y'all fucking crazy? Like, what's going on here?
And there's 8 or 9 seasons. So there's something 70 something episodes. So you want something to watch? I promise you, dude. Like here's how they did it. They did a full movie as an intro pilot. It was a pilot. Yeah.
That full hour and a half movie is the first episode.
And I didn't think it was
that
good.
By the end of the second episode, though, you're hooked.
Yeah,
that's the thing. I've shown it to so many people, and if they can get to the end of the second episode, which is called like 14 minutes 59 seconds, I think is the name of that.
I thought it was like 3:33 or something like that. Yeah, it's a
that's
time.
Intense.
It's
that whole episode.
It's a time thing, but like the first introduction is not that good. Like this is kind of meh. It's all right.
It's kind of generic. The intro.
Yeah. But
episode 2.
But the first
that's it.
Real episode, and basically they're being chased, and every so many minutes they have to jump to get away. So it's essentially Star Wars. That one Star Wars where they keep having to keep jumping. That was the other thing. I was like, which Star Wars was that? Was that Rogue One?
No, that was the one with the Star Destroyer thing. And it was the general. It was General whatever
with the Mary Poppins. Princess Leia.
I just rewatched that.
Yeah,
it's
well, when I was watching that and they just kept having to jump away, I was like, dude, they did that in Battlestar. Come on, come on, man.
And then they find them somehow. Like you can't track a jump, but they somehow do it. And,
so anyway, for my vote for some good sci-fi, watch that. And if you want something else, Looper is really good.
Looper, yeah, I rewatched that recently.
And if you've seen Battlestar Galactica, watch it again because now I really want to.
I know. I've been jonesing to rewatch it because I like to rewatch things once I can't remember them right. So that's my cue to rewatch.
My wife has this wonderful thing. Like she gets mad at me because like I walk out of movies and remember like almost everything about it. Like I just like I got a mind like a sponge and I remember all this stuff. She has this beautiful, amazing. She doesn't remember anything. Like even really, really good movies. Like she doesn't remember. And she's like, "Did we watch this?" And I'm like, "You're so lucky." Like it's just like she enjoys it for like 2 or 3 weeks. And then it just dissipates. Yeah, and I'm like, let's rewatch this. And she's like, that was so good. Have we seen that before? And I'm like, yeah, we watch it every other year. Like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, you're so lucky.
Yeah, no, that is a blessing. And that's really, I do remember movies. And as soon as I start to watch a movie, right, immediately
you
it
forget
all
it, but
back
then
in.
Yeah.
So it is. I find it nice when I do actually don't remember a show or a movie, and
like,
then I get to watch it again.
Yeah, Bobby says she's like your wife, Curtis.
You are a very lucky person. I wish I was like that. Yeah. Welcome, Bobby. I've been missing you, baby.
Yeah, good to have you back, Bobby.
Hi, Bobby.
Let's see here.
Aaron, if you don't know Bobby,
Cream Pie
you are lucky
Lars.
that you now do.
Should Obi-Wan and Leia, excuse me, end up together in the season finale of Kenobi?
It's a little gross.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy.
It's like romantic. That's weird. They're together now. They're on the transport now. Spoiler
Oh,
alert.
there you
But
go.
let's talk about Indiana Jones. So the next topic up to bat. In 2023, Harrison Ford returns as the legendary Indiana Jones. Check out this first look of the new James Mangold directed film. Release date is June 30th, my dad's birthday, 2023. This brought to you by Indiana Jones. I've been wanting to say that all day. Boom.
It's probably someone typing for him.
Yeah, Indiana. Oh, geez, don't you respect Han Solo? Indiana Jones 5 has a release date. This is good. This is good news. Yeah. How about are you excited about
Is
this?
it? Is it?
Is what?
What is the potential plot to this film?
The potential plot is time travel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was some Nazi stuff happening on some of the trains or something, and some of one of the scenes there was Nazi stuff, and this is supposed to take place after Indiana Jones episodes that we've seen because he's older. So there's time either there's still Nazi trains somewhere, or they're doing some time travel stuff with some kind of crystal skull or I don't know,
Something in the warehouse.
I don't know, and also this is giving Curtis a brain freeze, it looks like. And also, he's going to be kind of passing the torch to I think, what's her name, Phoebe Bridger.
No, it's not going to be what's his face.
No,
Sky LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf. No,
Shia LaBeouf.
nope. He's too
What,
hard.
he's out now. He's no longer the.
He's
side
too
pick?
hard to get bonded
I guess so.
for the movies.
He won't sit still.
Do it. Yeah, let's see here. Indiana. Curtis, what do you got to say about this? Because you look like you're getting a headache almost when I was giving that description.
It's just whenever you sent me this article, it just reminded me of the South Park episode. And if you know
Phoebe
then
Waller,
you-
by the way, go ahead.
if you know the South Park episode I'm talking about, then you know. If you don't, then
They just
go
drag
check
him
it out. I'm
along.
sure. But like this is the original trilogy, in my opinion, was so great.
Yeah.
The fourth one was maybe if I rewatch it, it's not going to be that bad. But like I just like don't. And then the passing of the torch thing. There are some characters that you can't pass the torch with. Like again, this is not an ensemble cast. Like certain things with an ensemble cast you can kind of pass the torch with because you can build archetypes and stuff. Like you're not that's not gonna work. You're not gonna. Harrison Ford is Indiana Jones, and most people are kind of like the fourth one doesn't count. Like it ended like it this was a period piece. Like it's
It
timeless.
already-
Like it's timeless in that anybody can watch it in any generation and enjoy it, but it's a period piece. And now you're like doing time travel and crap like what are we
You
doing
can have
here?
characters
Like just
evolve, but to continue a character like beat a dead horse, that's where it gets old.
that's
Like
yeah.
007, for example, is
That
a
horse is dead.
classification.
Leave it alone. It's
Right.
dead.
Don't
Just
make
leave it
Indiana
alone.
Jones live forever. Like, I mean, that's just not fun to watch either.
Yeah, Aaron,
So
what do you think?
Not
No, I mean, it's clear there. Yeah, I don't think even 007 should be the same 007, but it can be written into the story that like Indiana Jones has a son or something, and then he shows up as the new
Yeah.
Dr. Jones, and that can be an evolution of a character. But like just saying, oh look, let's keep the same person in this role and keep making movies out of it is just like it hurts me to watch.
What about Harrison Ford sending Phoebe Waller out on adventures, and him being the back in the office where he's not
Is that like a Charlie's Angels thing?
he's not he's too old to lower himself down into a pyramid, but he can send Phoebe Waller out.
That's interesting setup, I guess. I mean, that's a little bit of that evolution that we were talking about. That makes sense.
Yeah. Curtis, what do you think of that? I don't know if that's exactly what they're doing, but apparently Phoebe Waller's really awesome and talented, and everybody in Hollywood loves her, and the idea is that they're passing the torch to her.
Well, awesome. Then she needs to make her own character and leave Indiana Jones alone. Like, it's not like that's like, he's just sitting in his chair. He's just Harrison Ford sitting at his chair in the computer going ba 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 click 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 ba ba click 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 click. Like it's like, no, this is not what we want. It's not like, let him retire. We all imagined Indiana Jones after the third one retiring with grace and just teaching his classes, and like if anybody said anything to him, he's like, I don't have anything to prove to you, like, brother, I found the freaking Holy Grail. Like, what do you like? And just being like, he's allowed to be. Let him be an old man. Let him be an old man, and they won't. Like, just like.
Only the penitent man will pass.
Find the Fountain of Youth. How about that? Find the Fountain of Youth. Cast a younger Indiana Jones. There you can, keep
that would be
going.
wild. If they found the Fountain of Youth, that was the.
But instead, they found a Nazi time machine.
Oh yeah, you did.
It could be some weird mystical things. Like, he's got all kinds of weird artifacts. The sword of Longinus. That I didn't say Longinus. Dude, calm down. I said the spear of Longinus.
How long is your Ginus?
That was supposed to be the spear that pierced Christ.
Oh right.
Yeah, and it's anybody who had the spear was supposed to be basically empowered to be world dominator, and you had like Hitler had it, Charlemagne had it, Constantine had it. There's a whole bunch of people that this thing has floated around through time, and so that's one of those weird mystical items. And I'm sure there's crystal skulls and arcs and all kinds of stuff. Surely one of these things could make you time travel, Curtis. I don't understand I don't understand why you're rolling your eyes.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're rolling your eyes.
As if there's not writers that can come up with this.
Come on.
Stuff.
Again, just watch the South Park episode with Indiana Jones, and you'll know what I'm talking about. That's how I feel.
All right. Well, what do you guys think? Do you think we should have another Indiana Jones? Are you excited? Dude, I'm always excited to see some Indiana Jones. I'm excited about everything. Let us know in the comments. And let's talk about real quick Mando Season 3. Mando Season 3 is supposed to come out on February 2023, which is great news. This is fantastic news.
It is.
Yeah, I love
Yes, please.
Mandalorian. Keep bringing it to me. We watched Book of Boba Fett. You get one Mando episode in the Book of Boba Fett, and it was like better than the entire Book of Boba Fett. It's like,
yes,
can we get Season 3 now? Like, come on.
Yeah.
And get Dallas Bryce Howard directing as much as possible. She's awesome. Give her a movie while you're at it. And holy crap, I'm excited. I know that Bo-Katan's supposed to be in it, who's Katie Sackhoff. I love her. She's my favorite.
Yeah.
Speaking of Battlestar, that's Starbuck in Battlestar Galactica. Yeah. She's fantastic. And I heard Carl Weathers is supposed to be in it. And the Armorer is Armorer. I always have problems saying Armorer.
You got it.
And she's in it. And from what we know, they showed a little clip that hasn't been released to the public, but it was shown in Star Wars Celebration. And so people that saw it were talking about it. Basically, everybody seems pissed at Mando. The Armorer is mad at Mando. Bo-Katan's pissed at Mando. I don't know about Apollo Creed. I don't know if he's mad at Mando, but I don't have his character name in front of me. I love Carl Weathers. He directed a really fun action episode in one of Mandalorian's seasons 2, and that was really good.
Let me ask you: do you think Luke is mad at Mando?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But But
Yes.
everyone's
Because
mad
baby,
at Mando. He could be.
Grogu took the chainmail. He's
Yeah.
mad at you.
Oh yeah, then he's absolutely
Exactly,
pissed.
Like he
Yeah.
split that up. So.
Which probably means Ahsoka's pissed at Mando too, So, one thing I know, we're getting Sabine Wren in the Ahsoka series. I wonder when we're going to see Sabine Wren in the Mando series, because I feel like maybe we're going to have to start having some Mandalorian wars and fighting for who's in control, who gets the dark saber, and all that.
Right.
So it could get really entertaining. We're gonna have a lot of conversations about that, but not today, because we're gonna start doing our non-spoiler, or actually our pro spoiler. We're doing a spoiler discussion now about Obi-Wan. We're gonna talk about Obi-Wan, and if you haven't seen Obi-Wan yet, you need to get the hell out of here for a little while. And
So we are doing spoilers.
we're going to talk spoilers
Okay.
just because we can and we should, because I have a little to say about it, and I'm sure you guys do too. Have you guys in the chat seen Obi-Wan? I would say, hey, get out of there, get out of here if you have. We're going to talk about that. Do you want to talk about? Let's talk about the two other subjects real quick, and then we'll talk about Obi-Wan. First of all, so don't leave yet, chat.
Tell everyone to stop
Yeah.
watching.
Yeah, don't stop watching. Just
That's not
kidding.
how this works.
Just kidding. First off, I want to say that Bobby, who's one of our Patreon members, she's awesome. She said hi to you, Aaron, and she said thank you, Curtis. Fourth best thing, Harrison Ford, and lots of pretty yellow colors with skulls. I don't even know what that means, but I like it.
She's saying the best thing about the fourth one.
Nope. I haven't watched it, but remember, I'm like Curtis's wife. Oh, okay, great. Awesome. Well, first we're going to talk about a couple of other things, and then we're going to talk about that. First thing we're going to talk about is Predator.
Oh, love it.
Not just any Predator.
That's a really sexy one.
Princess Predator. Predator is a Disney princess. Apparently, Disney owns Predator, and I didn't even really realize this. And we just came to realize this. And Curtis was like, "Dude, can we talk about this for a minute?" And I'm like, "Yeah," because I like to talk. So what do you got, Curtis?
So it's been since January. We know Disney bought Fox, a long time ago. But the actual rights to Predator were in some kind of legal battle up until January. So, it's not necessarily brand new news, but like in January, Disney does own the rights to Predator. Now, this is a big deal. Okay. Some of the best comics, although, they are Batman versus Predator and stuff like that. They're DC quantities. Like Predator versus some of these other Marvel characters would be amazing. I don't think they're going to do that.
Yeah.
But think about that, especially when I was watching. Okay, when I was watching Obi-Wan, imagine this. And again, we just talked about earlier. We're just talking about expanding the universe and having fun with it. Okay, they can be one-offs and never exist again, especially with a story like Predator, like an Outer Rim planet that has a Jedi Academy. Okay? And predators hunt the hardest prey. That's the whole point of the Predator. Like, they don't kill people that have weapons. They don't, kill people that are innocent. They hunt the hardest prey. So a Predator goes to a Jedi Academy planet on the Outer Rim and starts wrecking some shop and taking down some Jedi Academy, what do you call them, students or whatever, and then what I was thinking too, like, what if Order 66 happens right then? So you got Predators fighting stormtroopers and
That'd be cool.
Jedi, and
Well,
then
they'd
at the end he's got
slaughter
to fight the
some
Jedi.
stormtroopers.
That's what I like.
Oh,
And then at
gosh.
the end, he's got to fight the Jedi Master. Like, I mean, like, how awesome would that be? And it would make perfect sense. They've never defined any galaxies. It would just be so perfect, and it would make sense. And like, it could be a one-off. It could be a whole series. You can put Predator in their Star Wars universe. It just makes sense. It's so perfect. we were talking about last week, Prey looks like a good movie. I like them expanding the Predator universe to be, he's hunting on Earth, but it's in the 1600s, with Native Americans and stuff like that. Like, again, you're expanding the universe. That's great. We don't want to see him. I want to see him fighting Arnold every time, but like maybe not everybody does. But
what about avatars? They have Avatar too.
There you go. They're not
Predator
really threatening.
Killed it. I'd be fine with a movie Predator just killing the shit out of some avatars.
They're not really going to be hunted by predators.
Well, dude, they had ETs in the Senate.
Yep,
They were there straight up. So are you?
But I don't want that cameo. I want that movie.
You're a Predator in the Senate.
Predator versus Jedi, man. I want that. Like, just.
Dude, what about
how awesome.
ET versus Predator?
Good.
And like he Hey.
Dude, that's the next. That's gonna be on Versus now. ET versus Predator. We're gonna.
Might as well.
We're doing it. We're doing it. I called it.
Oh my gosh.
But they put the 3 dots, and then like the Jedi's just like, what? Even the students, they're just like, what? And then he shoots, and then they block it, and they're like, what is? Like, come on, like. But then he's like, oh, okay. It's go time.
What a really, because you understand, like they mashed up, right, Predator and Alien, because you have 2 really dominant predator type species. Well, what's a different alien that would actually match up with an alien or with a predator? Like there's more out there. There has to be more. It's like you think like the Hellraiser aliens. There's something out there that's probably animalistic. What am I thinking of? What about a gremlin?
Well, you could go.
Gremlins can't be stopped, right?
Some Kree or some.
There you go. Yeah, Kree.
You go Pitch Black. The monsters in Pitch Black
that's
versus
so
aliens.
good. That's what I was looking
for.
Yeah, from Pitch Black.
Hulks. You can have them against Hulks. Hulk versus
Hulk.
Predator.
I mean, Hulk can't die, so
Hulk would fucking annihilate a predator. But a whole bunch of aliens, like a swarm of aliens, like I don't know.
Versus Hulk.
Wouldn't the Force just annihilate? Yeah, like I don't because they bleed acid, like so like even if he's just crushing them, and they're just like
Force would just
like
lift the predator up, and the predator would just sit there dangling in midair.
But, no, Side of Meat says, wouldn't the Force just annihilate a predator? And so that's my point. Side of Meat, like that's at first he's fighting just the students, so they're not like as adept. Like he doesn't fight to the master or whatever who's running the school till the end. And then, like I said, you do Order 66, and then at the same time, it's like, whose side are you on? And it's like, well, the Predator's killing the Stormtroopers, so we should help him. And then like the Stormtroopers are like, well, the Predator's killing the Jedi, we should help him. And like you've got this whole like trinamic going on. But like, that's right. Deal with it.
I love it. I love it.
So he says, like, but I'm just saying, like, it would be so good, like, because they can't use the Force. Like the master could, but he's dealing with the whole Order 66 thing, and he's trying to keep all this shit in line, And then the Predator's just like picking them off, because they're students. Like you're right.
Can we go to
Train
chat,
Jedi would.
by the way?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go to chat.
That's what I'm already. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
That's all good. We don't need to. We don't need to make a.
We'll make our own movie later.
Let's see here.
Yeah, we're just talking about a made up movie.
We've got some major. You just opened the floodgates, man. We're like, dude, this
is what people want to be chatting about.
It would be like Disney.
First off, Def Jam says, why do I feel since we've picked up another pathetic life form? Wouldn't the Force just annihilate the Predator? Side of Meat says, squish. That's just a funny comment altogether. Side of Meat says, squish. I'm down for, Bobby says, I'm down for ET versus Predator on Versus, so that's a good one. Yes, that's happening. And then we got Def Jam. Sounds like another Battinson versus episode. And then Hulk versus Acid. That's a good question.
That is what I wanted to. That Hulk versus Acid. Has that ever even been explored in the comics? That's where Hulk would be, melted by acid? so he
Yeah.
can't react and get bigger.
Well,
Doesn't he heal really fast like Wolverine,
He's
basically?
got
well, yeah, but
he's
with
got a
acid,
stronger healing factor than Wolverine and Sabretooth combined. Like,
but with
he's-
acid.
With
Right.
anything.
and if he's
But-
continually squishing them, like and punching these aliens, like because Hulk could just be like, they'd be like, I'm xenomorph, and he's like squish, but then it's like more acid, more acid, more acid. So like it's
because
just
you're eating
constant.
away at those cells
Yeah.
with acid, so they can't grow up, blow up. It's an interesting question.
Yeah, faster than Wolverine. Cytomate says, yeah,
Yeah.
his healing power is faster than super fast.
Hulk's just gonna shower with acid to
Hell
get
yeah.
bigger every day.
Because it just pisses him off more and more, and he's like,
Oh, that's funny. John Stennett says, "Hey, Aaron.
Hey,
Hey,
Def Jam over here. He's my roommate.
oh,
Yeah, he's
that's for Def Jam. Hell yeah. Well, let's talk about a real. Now we got all these fantastic people here. Oh, Bruce himself said he in human form put a bullet in his head, and Hulk spit it out. So the power is always there.
hell yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm just saying, Disney, you own this now. Like, you can just do it. Do it.
Do you think? Do you think since you're talking about Lucasfilm or Disney combining franchises, are you saying we should have Indiana Jones versus Predator?
Again,
No.
let Harrison
But-
Ford die. Let him die. Slow.
I could see,
quiet death.
like, they should not. Yeah, they should not do that. If they like the young Indiana Jones guy, who's like 68 now, like, but
The young
like
one.
if they were to, like if they were to enable to, like figure like that'd be kind of cool. Like, he's fighting all the Nazis because if Predators land at the beginning of World War II, the Nazis are winning. They're like, okay, that's the top prey. That's the big mamma jamma. And so he's hunting Nazis, and then like Indiana Jones pops in, like that'd be kind of be fucking. If you do it right, it doesn't matter. Like,
Dude, you had me at Predator versus Nazis. I'm going to see that.
I watched that shit.
Predator versus Nazis. I'm going. I'm
Yeah.
in.
Can we be
There you
clear
go.
too?
That's what I'm saying.
Indiana Jones's special power is whips, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's it.
and score
But
and score.
do we know if he drank from the Holy Grail?
That Grail thing.
Because he could have gotten eternal powers from the Holy Grail.
Well, he doesn't look like it.
I don't remember if he poured it on a wound.
On his dad's wound.
Oh, it was on his dad's wound. But
All
did he
right.
drink from it? Or just lick his hands?
Oh,
Or did he?
That's all it takes.
Yeah,
maybe, but maybe he just absorbed it.
he could have.
Mm.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But by the way, speaking of Indiana Jones, Indiana Jones looks like Bruce Springsteen over here. He looks like he has a guitar and he's like on stage. Yeah, I don't know if it's just me or but I was like, yeah, it looks like he's having a concert over here. I just thought I would throw that out there. Y'all need some milk, except Curtis, he got some already. I don't even know what that means.
We got to work out more.
Oh,
Or drink milk, at least.
I'm drinking milk. All right. Well, here, let's get on to the next serious topic, guys. This is very serious. Yes, Side of Meat. There's a new Indiana Jones movie coming out in June 30th, right?
One you didn't even know you wanted.
Yep, June 30th. Here's
Nobody.
all right. This is definitely gonna make a video, guys. Here at the guys here at Everything Entertainment News, we like to cover breaking and important news, and I could see nothing more important to the entertainment world than a Winnie the Pooh horror movie. What? Yes, that's what I said. Look at this. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. This is the creepiest thing I've ever seen, ever.
I WTF.
Yeah, and you'll note that my question down here, instead of just it just says ah, because that's how I feel. That's the creepiest thing I've ever seen. Apparently, there's a movie in the works called Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I can't even say Winnie the Pooh, because I'm so scared. I'm shaking out of my mind. That is the nastiest, creepiest looking Winnie the Pooh. And apparently, Winnie the Pooh is old enough that it's open season. Anyone could make a Winnie the Pooh movie. Anything, once you get past a certain number of years, becomes public domain, and anyone can make content with that. So there you go. Curtis, what do you think about that? Or what do you have to say about Winnie the Pooh? Or do you got any insight on public domain and things like that? Who fought for it or whatnot?
So I love horror movies. I love bad horror movies, but when they're purposefully bad, they don't make the cut necessarily. I don't know. There's not even a trailer out for this one yet. Like we don't know anything about it. But at the same time, so Mickey Mouse will be public domain in 2024, apparently, because the last 2 times he has gone public domain, Disney has lobbied Congress and they've changed the public domain law. Okay. So anytime Mickey Mouse gets close to being public domain, they usually change the law. They lobby Congress and they change the law. It's like, look it up. Every copyright law has been changed because of Disney, because they don't want to lose that mouse. Now, I think that Disney may let it go, and there'll be some crappy Mickey Mouse horror movies, because they've got Star Wars, they've got Marvel. They're they're probably gonna there's something else they're gonna buy, but like they're gonna be okay. Like, so they might let this one slide, but I don't know. Like, they might end up changing a lot. Now, Winnie the Pooh's already gone. We can't save him. But the ones in the future that are coming, like Bugs Bunny's got to be coming soon too. Like I
think that's because Winnie the Pooh was a book originally, and then
whenever
it was released,
from the creation date, yeah. And so, like I'll probably check this movie out. Like, this is going to be a versus. But
for sure.
Like,
how far until Minnie Mouse is? I know Mickey, but Minnie, because once Minnie's public domain, pow chicka pow pow. There's going to be some. There's going to be some wild Mickey and Minnie
porn.
Yeah,
I was going to joke about a Mickey porn. They're going to come out with it.
Yeah. I was just trying to leave it to the imagination by saying "bound chicka bound bound."
Oh no, you got to spell it out for people.
Yeah.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
Mickey Mouse gonna be busy.
Yes,
it's coming. It's
getting busy for sure. Man, yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's hilarious. I can't wait to see what other crazy things come down the pike.
Can you imagine Piglet, by the way? Can you even fathom what Piglet might look like in this horror movie?
Oh, my God. Winnie the Pooh looks horrifying. Piglet? Ugh.
And is that a mask, you think, or is that like him being a creature?
No, that's just live action.
No, I know, but
live action Pooh Bear. That's not a guy with a mask. That's what.
That's latex Pooh Bear walking around robbing banks. Okay. I mean, that's cool. It's cooler than a person with a mask, but I really am fearful about Piglet walking out at some point, or what are they going to do?
It's going to happen. Oh yeah, Piglet's part of this film. Yes,
what's
Piglet's part of this film.
Going to do?
Christopher Robin's.
Now, and that's the thing too, is that so they did not put Tigger in it. They did not put Eeyore in it. They did not, because those characters came out a couple of years later.
It says that?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
they're not.
They
public
came out.
domain.
They're not public. They're not public domain yet. So they're basically setting themselves up for a franchise. Even if the first one sucks, they're going to be like, "All right, but this one's got Tigger and Eeyore in it." Like,
Oh my gosh, a franchise of that. Jeez.
of Winnie the Pooh murder mysteries. Like come on.
Holy crap!
Five more movies.
That is wild. Well, let's move on. That is crazy, man. What do you guys think? Are you excited to see Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey? That's some crazy stuff right there. I'm excited, but anyway, I'm excited about everything. Let me know in the comments. And moving on, let's get to our final topic. If you haven't seen Obi-Wan yet, you need to get out of here. You need to get out of here because we're going to talk about it real quick. And also, if you want to keep hanging out, you're having fun in the live stream, we're going to end this stream in a little bit. We're going to have a short conversation about Obi-Wan, talk about how we liked it. Then I'm going to tell people to subscribe. Then I'm going to get out of here. And then at 8 is when we go live, but I'm going to probably we'll probably be going on about 8:15. After the timer, 8:10, 8:15, and we're going to do Versus, which is going to be Carrie versus Firestarter, and that's going to be a fun show, and it's a little less structured. It's us hanging out, talking about the two movies, and we have a bunch of, it's almost a game. We have different questions that we talk about, and it's a lot of fun. So if you haven't... shoot, I might even go get some beer. So shoot, if you guys haven't seen Obi-Wan, get out of here. But if you're having fun, you want to come back and hang out with us, we're going to be on for at least an hour with Versus. You guys can come hang out with us. So
come on, guys, it's go time.
Yeah,
let's go.
So let's do this. So let's talk about Obi-Wan. Yes, sir. Obi-Wan. Boom. Let's see here. I'm going to go. Actually, we're going to go with this.
Side of Meat wants his show spoiled for him.
All
You
right.
see that over there.
That's all right.
He's
We're
like,
not
spoil me,
There's
senpai.
not
Spoil
much
me.
to spoil yet. There's not much to spoil yet.
Hold on just a
I don't
second.
think so either.
Other than it's really god dang good. Like
Oh, don't talk
So
yet. I'm fixing a graphic, and then we're gonna talk.
so you don't want me to talk while you're fixing
Just
your
shut the
graphics?
hell up.
Curtis, you're getting it muted. No.
Just shut the hell up. Just kidding.
I just really want that dead air right now.
Yeah.
Just give me that
No,
dead
but
air.
we're chilling. All right.
Tell everyone in the comments to leave. Like
All right. Again. Now we're going to talk about Obi-Wan. That's right, Obi-Wan. First 2 episodes of Obi-Wan are out. That's the wrong fucking screen. All right. What do you get? How did you guys like? Yeah, there it is. How did you guys like the first 2 episodes of Obi-Wan? I loved the first 2 episodes of Obi-Wan, but Clint likes everything. Man, dude, being a Star Wars kid, growing up with Star Wars, and coming to the point in my life where I've seen the prequels and the sequel trilogy and Clone Wars and Rebels, and then seeing a show that pulls the best of all those things and ties them together and just puts them into a giant sandwich. This was a Star Wars sandwich with all the best flavors. I absolutely enjoyed it. Do I have my critiques? Little things that got to me? Yes. Are they related to other critiques that I've had of other new shows that are shows, not movies, but shows? Yes. They're related. I feel like it has to do with budgets and or the tools they're using to tell these stories, but overall, I loved it, and I had a great time, and I'm super stoked and excited to see the up-and-coming episodes. What did you guys think? Curtis, we'll start with you, man.
So this was the recent series that since Disney's owned them both and blah 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 of Marvel and Star Wars. This was the best start to a series that I've seen. It doesn't mean it's going to be the best series ever, but for the start. Like, this was the best start to a series because it had episode 1. I'm not even talking about episode 2. Episode 1, it had me hooked. And that hadn't had, Boba Fett was fine. Even Mando. I love The Mandalorian. I love it. But Clint knows, you can look at past episodes. I watched 3 or 4 episodes, and then I hadn't watched it for years. And Clint was like, you got to finish that series. And I did. And it was amazing. But, it took, a good 2 or 3 to get into. And but episode 1 for Obi-Wan, I was hooked. It had the expansion that we were talking about, and it had the feel that we were talking about. This was really, really good. Episode 2 was good as well. They bring in more of Leia, which we can talk about if we want to. But like even of the Marvel series, I'm tired of the Disney franchises hitting me at episode 4 and being like, "This is a good show." Like Obi-Wan was a good show, episode 1, and you wanted to watch more.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Aaron, how did you feel about the first 2 episodes of Obi-Wan? And then I'm going to start breaking down the episodes, and we'll talk more in detail. But just overall, what'd you think?
No, first episode feels, and I mentioned this earlier, feels like an old Star Wars movie. That's where it's a good start, like you're saying. Absolutely. And what I like about it too is being a good start to a series. It wasn't just some weird cheesy montage that brought us back up to speed. It was just here's his life, here's where he's at, here's where he's been. It would have been terrible if it was some weird like montage and sped through the storyline, but instead, and here's why it's also probably really good to us, is that we know the character. We know all the way up to where it was left off, and this is just filling in those gaps that we all love and appreciate. But yeah, no, and then the second episode is much more getting the show on and much more drama and action. Yeah, it was great. I mean, that second episode, really, you start to get the clip, I think, of it, which is so great. I mean, the end of episode 1 with the lightsaber going on the boarding of the ship, that's cool. That Jedi can just travel wherever. And, he's just he shows his lightsaber.
Let's talk about let's talk about the episode. The episode this story opens up and it's on Tatooine, and the show opens up and you see Obi-Wan doing an everyday. Actually, the show opens up with Order 66, which is wild.
That's true.
Which is wild. And they're going in. And it's crazy. They're going in. They got a school. We got a bunch of kids, of the Jedi Academy that are there with their Jedi teacher, and Order 66 is going down, and some kids end up escaping, and it's crazy. Like, if you haven't seen if you're not a fan of, if you like Star Wars movies, but you're like, I don't like watching cartoons, I haven't watched the animated Star Wars stuff. Like, I just don't want to watch cartoons. That's not my thing. I'm like that sometimes with certain things. I've seen all the Star Wars animated shows. But I could tell you, season 7 of Clone Wars, which if you don't know much about Ahsoka because you didn't watch Clone Wars and you're wanting to get into her a little more and understand her more, there are select episodes you can watch. There's lists of episodes that you can go back and just get certain episodes of that feature Ahsoka, and you can kind of understand her character a little bit more. I would say just get COVID and then stay home and watch the whole show. Stay home for 10 days, watch the show. No, don't get COVID. I'm just kidding. I shouldn't make jokes like that. But no, take a week off work and watch the whole show. That's what I did. I'd watched it during the lockdown, and but my point is, if you don't watch any of Clone Wars, season 7. They came back, and there was a big gap. They didn't have any Clone Wars cartoons for a long time, and they came back and did season 7. It's beautifully made. It's very cinematic, and the animation's really good. And it's basically when Order 66 goes down, and Ahsoka and her crew is there, and it's wild. It's a super intense, emotional, really intense episode, and that is a good lead up into what the beginning of this show is. It's the same feeling. You're seeing the same stuff go down. It's really intense and dramatic, especially I'm watching a cartoon and this is intense, war stuff, and that's
I
what
want to rewatch that.
Yeah, it's super. Season 7's fantastic, and so this opens like that, and then after all this death, with all of these Jedi getting slaughtered, all the Jedi went into hiding, and Obi-Wan didn't just go into hiding. Obi-Wan was tasked with looking after Luke, and that's why he's on Tatooine. He's guarding him from afar, and you get to see that. He's a hermit, the old desert hermit that we know of, but he's working. He's working at some giant butcher kind of a situation where he's butchering these giant, I don't know if they're sand dragons or what the hell they are.
It's basically the thing that they killed in the Mandalorian. Like
yeah, I think it's a sand
remember?
dragon. Yeah, and like he's butchering this thing, taking a little meat for his camel-esque pet, which the animation and stuff in this is
an Eopie.
Eopie, there you go.
Yeah.
And which looked really good. I was like,
Yeah.
man, the animation in this show is great. And he's just living a simple life. He smells. He ends up dealing with a Jawa, buying parts from a Jawa to make a toy for Luke at one point. And they make a couple of jokes about how he smells bad. He's living in his little cave that you see him in a Phantom Menace, and it's like it's really cool. Like, you're like, oh, this is where he lived the whole time. You always wondered about the old desert hermit, old Ben Kenobi, the desert hermit. This is kind of his life. He's just working a crappy job, existing, watching, like much like the old man on Family Guy. Hi, Chris, you want some popsicles? I'm just kidding. He's watching Luke from afar, which is creepy, and like. And just living his life. And you see the Inquisitors. They introduce the Inquisitors. The Inquisitors come to this planet, and they're hunting Jedi. And they do some stuff where they basically pick on people, and then even attack someone, basically to get a Jedi to come out of the woodwork. And sure enough, he does. And he stops a knife from hurting this just normal guy. And so the Inquisitors find, hey, there's a Jedi. I told you we'd find him. And they introduce a bunch of cool characters. The Inquisitors are really cool. But one thing I'm going to say about Obi-Wan is that if you watch Obi-Wan in the Clone Wars and whatnot, he is like a really badass Jedi. He like you got to think like, oh, in the movies, what you see him do isn't that impressive because he's older. You know what I mean? You don't, or he's younger and he's running around.
Or younger.
Yeah,
He's a general.
but he's
I mean,
he's a super badass in the animated series. He would go on these missions. There was one time where he faked his own death and went undercover and changed his face and his identity, and they didn't even tell Anakin. And that's part of, like, it really hurt Anakin because he thought his master had died. It really messed up Anakin. He was really bitter, really upset about it, that you didn't even let me in on the secret. Like, Obi-Wan is so intense when he goes undercover, when he's on a mission, if it's for the greater good, he is like all in. And like he actually, him and Yoda, and Mace Windu let everyone think that he died. So all the emotion, like freaking Anakin's dealt with all of this loss, anything already. He's walking the line for the dark side already. And then he thinks that Obi-Wan is killed or died. Like it really hurt him really bad. So if you put that into perspective, understand that Obi-Wan, he could have been like, hey, Anakin, I'm okay. I'm just going to be undercover. He didn't even do that. Like, that's how intense he is. So in this show, you have situations where, okay, I'm a hermit. My one job is to watch this kid because he might be carrying the torch for the one hope of balancing the Force. Maybe this is being passed down from Anakin to this kid, and my job is to protect this kid at all costs. And in this show, you're going to see some things. There's a Jedi that's in trouble that finds him, that needs his help, and he goes, "Now go bury your lightsaber out in the desert. I can't help you." No, but he's like, "Nope, I'm not that guy anymore. Leave me alone."
How is he not that guy?
And
that's my big question about it. Like, how'd you forget?
He didn't forget. That's my point.
He couldn't even use it though.
No,
he
but
tried.
My point is that he completely is on task. His assignment is to take care of the boy. So I can't help you. I have more important things that have to do with the greater good. Like it, and I'm sorry you're in trouble. Can't help you. Sorry, this guy I work with's getting picked on by bad guys. Even though I'm supposed to be the hero, I can't do that. I have to because the greater good is to protect the boy, no matter what. That's his mission, and that's how intense he is. He's a super intense soldier / agent. It's almost like a secret agent that has to go and infiltrate some army undercover and even maybe kill some civilians to keep his cover. That's the kind of agent that Obi-Wan is at all costs. And so yeah. So we move forward in the story in a second. What were you going to say, Curtis?
No, I was gonna say at the same time he sees it as um his redemption because he failed with Anakin in his mind so badly that he's like, I can't fail with Luke. Like I
Yeah.
can't like he's like if whether even if Luke's just like a fucking water farmer or whatever or vapor farmer, like he'll be fine. But he's like, I just can't let him turn to the bad side, like so he sees Luke as his redemption, like and like this thing that it'll lead to, like with he doesn't see Leia as that, like Luke is his new Anakin. He's like, I can get it right this time, even though he didn't screw up the first time. It wasn't his fault the first time. Like, but he feels that way, and he sees Luke as like, I can get it right, like, or I can because really get it right this first time. And I apologize if this wasn't in the first episode, but like he's talking to Uncle Owen, like, we got to train him, we got to do, and that's one of the things too, is that like he really feels like he failed Anakin. He feels like that. He feels like he did the wrong thing, and he didn't.
And that checks out when you're talking about pilots, because I just watched Top Gun, and that's basically what you're dealing with. Maverick failed Goose. He felt like he didn't want to hurt Goose's son. That's what the whole movie is about. I'm just kidding, but that's really is a parallel, an interesting parallel. But yeah, see, you got this going on, and he's hiding out in the desert. I'm like, that's like deep cover for years. But then also, everyone he knows, all of his friends have all been murdered, and he couldn't help anybody. And now it's a point where it's like, dude, at this point, it's not even worth fighting back anymore. All my friends died. Nobody knows where I am.
Well, think of how many more years he spends in the desert.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
he's
too.
old Ben
Yeah.
in the Star Wars movies. So even this young Ben is still a young Ben, and he's already been, watching Luke in the desert for so long that he's, gotten weak with his powers or something. He's still going to be there for like 20 more years in this desert watching him.
Watching the chosen one.
Yeah.
I like how they had to, I feel like they had to sell it a couple of times, like the age difference from Ewan McGregor to Alec Guinness, they were like, yeah, and you're old, or more like grandpa. They did a couple of lines in that movie, because the kid's like what? He's probably six or something, five or six, and
Leia's 10, so Luke has to be 10.
Oh yeah,
oh, Leia makes the joke too.
Yeah, there you go. So you're gonna add what, 10 years to his life? So would Ewan McGregor look like old Ben the Desert Hermit in 10 years? I don't know if he'd look that old. He just look.
No.
Ewan McGregor's still holding it down pretty good, but
yeah.
But anyway, you got the Inquisitors. Inquisitors are some crazy bad guys. Like these are ex-Jedi that have been converted, and they're basically the
Jedi hunters.
Yeah, the Jedi hunters, but they are the right and left arms of Darth Vader. Basically, he's got them going out looking for Jedi, killing Jedi, slaughtering Jedi, and by any means possible. The Grand Inquisitor, he used to be the Temple Guard, and he switched over. And
such a good actor too.
Oh, he's badass.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he's super badass. And I'm gonna go pull him up because I forgot his damn name.
Yeah, he's just the creepy evil guy. That's his identity.
It's, Actor McDudenheim. That's his name.
Actor McDudenheim. Thanks.
You're just making up names now.
Yeah. Joel Edgerton was really good as Uncle Ben. By the way. Of course, he's not even listed on here. I know his name. I just can't think of it right now, but it doesn't matter. But anyway, like Grand Inquisitors are great. They're hunting Jedi, and then you also have Princess Leia as a kid, and they show
She's
her.
So cool.
She's great. She's great. And
it's the bear princess from Game of Thrones, right? Or she was like the leader of the bear family in Game of Thrones, right? The super young princess. Isn't that the
no,
same one?
that's not. I don't think that's.
It's a different one.
Yeah, if the girl you're talking about the one with the big mouth on Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's like
No,
a little
she-
girl.
she
and
had a
becomes
super-
king or something.
No, she had a
Of
super
her
super
family.
strong accent. That she,
Really?
yeah, it's a different girl.
Okay.
But just
She
as
reminded me
she-
of it.
Just as cute and strong-willed and convicted and like a lot of conviction and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was fantastic. Like they cast the perfect kid to play Princess Leia. She runs around. She is stubborn, and then they showed us that she was stubborn again, and then later they showed us that she was stubborn again, and then later they showed us that she's stubborn again, and we're like, we get it. She's stubborn. That was one of my only complaints about this show is that like they kind of shoved it down your throat, so that later when it gets really important for her to listen.
I was like, don't run away.
She runs off and
It's
like,
like,
remember,
stop running away."
she's stubborn. We already showed you 5 or 6 times that she's stubborn. Okay, we get it. She's Leia. They could have just done that one example of
Well,
her.
she is supposed to be so perceptive and smart, and
Yeah.
she can read people and see right through. And then she just runs off like a kid when it's like, no, we need to keep on the DL
Whoa, yeah,
here.
yeah.
And she
Yeah.
knows that,
And-
and yet still runs off.
It
That's weird.
also like you have like her being raised with Bill Organa and stuff like her cousin. She has to go to some family or something where her cousin says you're not even a real Organa, and she cuts him to shreds.
yeah.
She rips him a new one. And I heard who was
you
it?
say this because you think this.
Yeah, she
Like,
says a
it's
very
like
very
totally...
articulate thing, but I think it was heavy spoilers. I think it even said, "Hey, I almost feel like maybe she was using the Force, like sensing his
Right.
insecurities." And I was like, "Wow, I hadn't even thought of that. That's
See,
that's interesting." But yeah, she let him have it.
And I don't know why the Inquisitors can't just use the Force to detect where the Jedi are.
Well,
they would be like, I feel something here.
They
There is someone here.
They kind of do, but I think that Obi-Wan cut himself off from the Force.
Oh,
And that's why
that's why he can't use the powers.
That's why he could, and he really,
makes sense.
he had to act because that's what Luke did when he
Yeah.
alienated himself out on that island. And so, if you cut yourself off from the Force, you're not using the Force. They can't feel you. And I have a feeling that's what I don't think they've really addressed it yet, but I think they're going to get into that. And so, when push comes to shove, all of a sudden the girl falls. Of course, he's got to use the Force, and he does. I feel like another thing. So that bothered me a little bit. Like, oh, she's cute. She's a perfect Leia. Then they used her and drove it into the ground. And I'm like, dude, it was like a little bit too much Leia. I think if they dial it back with her a little bit, she's a cute thing. And I can already see Leia and her little robot having a spin-off show, how they go off and get into adventures like her and the little robot. I can't.
What if that robot gets upgraded into R2D2
No.
or something like that? That would be insane.
That's crazy talk.
I think he's already in existence anyway.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, like I was like, okay, I can see the Disney Plus show of little Leia with her robot, like with her droid, running around on adventures through the woods.
I'd buy one.
Yeah, one thing that I really did like is that Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers is the one that kidnapped her. Because he's been in movies over the years, and I was like, dude, I heard him talk. Hello, little girl, and I'm like, that's fucking Flea. And turn around, it was him. He's awesome, and but yeah, it was like the show was good. The Grand Inquisitors are good. The Grand Inquisitor Reva, she's awesome. She's a fantastic actress. She's in I think she's in The Queen's Gambit. Also, is that what it was? I'm gonna look. I'm cheating.
Moses.
Yes,
Ingram.
she was in the Queen's Gambit. She's a fantastic actress. One thing that she's doing in this is, I feel like she's a little bit too pissed all the time. That kind of bothered me a little bit. It almost reminded me of the bad guy in Karate Kid 2 in Okinawa. That's just like. That's just pissed and slides down the string of lights and is just like irrationally mad. And I have this face on all the time, and like I'm just irrationally mad all the time. I'm like, dude, fucking dial it back. And
There's not much backstory to why.
And she's
that,
just fucking mad, and I want to know why she's so pissed off. Like I think she overdid it a little bit, and it's distracting. And I'm like,
if No, I agree. If that's a road to nowhere, then it's going to be bad news for the
Yeah.
series. They better make that lead somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah,
Why is she so determined?
it
Who is
better-
she trying to
yeah.
impress? Like,
Well, Darth
if
Vader.
not Darth Vader,
Yeah.
but yeah.
But that really bothered me. I'm like, she's a little bit too much. She's a little bit extra, you know, and like it was just a little bit much. Again, like you said, they need to explain that why she's pissed. Like
She can be determined.
Yeah.
She can be determined, but also
Yeah,
if that's
that's
her
it.
whole life is being an Inquisitor, why is she suddenly going to like go against the Inquisitor code to come
that's
after
what I mean.
that?
Her
What's
whole
the
life is
push?
chasing Obi-Wan. Like it's not beating
that's
Inquisitor.
true.
It's
Yeah.
just to chase Obi-Wan.
So she's
And
just
it's like,
obsessed.
if you don't explain why, like, 'cause
I'm
we
pretty
get it,
sure.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be something like they're going to end up with a flashback, and she's going to be a little kid in the Jedi Temple, and she's going to have seen Obi-Wan. And instead of Obi-Wan stopping to rescue her and take her with him, he bailed because Yoda maybe just said, "You need to go protect the boy." And so Yoda takes off, and then, Obi-Wan takes off or something. I don't even know that.
How do
I don't even.
Inquisitors survive
No, he
Order
was
66?
Here's what I was gonna say: is I don't know if Obi-Wan was even necessarily there, but there's gonna be
maybe.
something like that where you abandoned me. And it's gonna come out. What were you saying?
Well, I was going to ask you if you know why Inquisitors exist after Order 66. Are these Jedi that weren't killed that then became bad?
Maybe they.
Or where were they during Order 66? Why weren't they killed?
Maybe
They
they
surrendered,
just.
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if they would accept surrender of that, like their goal was to exterminate them.
They might have gotten found by Darth Vader and other people. It's like when they did Order 66, the Emperor called for Order 66, and they sent basically a signal out, and all of the stormtroopers turned around and started killing all the
Right.
Jedi. But this could have been a thing where Darth Vader found them and turned them.
Before they could die, be killed.
So you're useful. Come with me, and I will show you the ways of the dark side. Go ahead.
I was going to say what we were talking about it earlier. We were talking about Star Wars all night, so I don't know where it fell in. But what if they did a tie-in where they chose Jango Fett, not because he was the best fighter in history, but because he was the best fighter that was the most highly suggestible fighter, and they chose him to make clones of. Because if you're highly suggestible, then you'll do whatever somebody tells you to.
They manipulate his stuff, like his. They
Genes.
made his
make
genes
him.
more suggestible. He's not,
Right.
and that's why Boba Fett is different. That's why Boba Fett's different from the stormtroopers. He's exactly like Jango Fett, and he hasn't been.
He's
his
a clean
genes were-
clone.
Yeah, he's a clean clone, and there's only one more like that named Omega, who's in a different series, who's a female, but she's a clean clone also. But long story short, Obi-Wan series, really fun series, really good. We got to cut it short because we're already supposed to be doing verses, so we got to get the hell out of here. We talked too long, and so thank you guys for watching. If you haven't watched
Jump on over,
Obi-Wan,
guys.
go check it out, man. It's really good. Long story short, Obi-Wan goes to save Princess Leia, and craziness ensues, and he finds out that Anakin's still alive, and that's the crux of it. And the last scene is you see the horror and the pain and the insecurity
Wow, that's
and
scary.
the like everything in his face. Ewan McGregor's such a great actor. It's some serious drama happening, and I feel like if they don't bumble it up and make it too bubblegum, as long as they keep it serious, I think it's going to be really good. So I'm excited about it. I'm sure you guys are excited about it. Let's see here, guys. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you guys so much. And special thanks to Aaron and Curtis, as always, for hanging out and being awesome. And we're going to sign off, and then we're going to come back as verses. So you guys have a great night, and we'll see you soon.
Love y'all.
Thanks, Bobby, for pointing out the